Bruh, if you can hear me.
Bruh.
In the place to be. As you can see, more work stuff. More and more work stuff. I've been busy and on the grind, but not on my study grind, my labbing grind. But we gonna get back into it. It's been about 2 weeks since we done a stream.
Bruh.
Missed you guys, man. We got in the building. Nobody just yet. We just gonna give some time for some people to tune in. If you guys don't know, I am known as the Network.
Bruh.
I take complex networking topics, dumbs it down to more simpler language. Because y'all know that's how I do, man. All of us can learn this stuff, man. I just take this stuff and simplify it. What I am going to be doing, this is kind of like a new chapter in my studies here. Well, not really a new chapter because I was kind of studying for the CCNP exams before. That's how I kind of started this channel. I have some stuff that I want to share with you guys, but you are going to have to join the Discord server. Here is an invite to the Discord server. I have this spreadsheet, sort of like an attack plan for the Encore exam. If you guys are familiar with that or not, this is one of the exams you have to take to get the CCNP certification. Now, I don't have to take the Encore exam. So, and you probably wonder, why the hell is he studying for something that he don't need to take an exam for? Well, here's the thing. To get the CCNP exam, you have to take 2 certifications, right? Or 2 tests. You have to take the Encore exam, which is also known as the Core exam. You also have to take a, like an elective exam. So you can do, I don't remember what the letters are, but you can do a test for SD-WAN. You can do stuff for advanced routing and switching, which is what I'm going to do. That's also known as the NRC exam. You can also do stuff on wireless, the wireless elective. You can do a collaboration elective, so that's like voice and video and stuff like that. And again, I'm going to be doing advanced routing and switching. Now, prior to the Cisco changing their exams and stuff like that, I took the route exam and I took the switch exam already. So therefore, after that date when they changed their exams and stuff, I would have had to take the T-shoot exam, but I didn't have time to take it. So now all I have to do is take an elective exam. But there's so many new topics that they introduced since that time that I took it, which is about a year ago. That's why I said I'm going to go back, kind of like go back to the fundamentals and go back to learn some of this new stuff that they had added to the Encore exam, study it along with you guys, and then take study for the NRC exam, and then finally take it. Now, because I took the route and switch exam, I don't have to take this exam until like 2023. So that's like what, a year and a half from now, right? So therefore, I don't have any dates or anything like that, or any kind of like set date on when I need to take it. Well, I do have a set date on when my certification expires, but I have plenty of time to study for both of these exams. So I'm going to take my time to learn this stuff. This is the Encore study plan that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So if you want a copy of this, please join my Discord server. The link should be in the chat there. Did I add it? I don't know if I added it or not, but let me do it again. It says it's hidden. Use the copy button. Copy. Y'all let me know if y'all could, because I can't see the chat there. Let me refresh real quick, because I mean I see some viewers and stuff like that, but I don't see nothing in the chat. So let me oh, I see y'all now. Oh, my bad. I didn't see none of y'all talking over there. Shout out to Gonzalo in the building. We got Morgan Lucas in the building. PS, Darth Dweeb, man, appreciate all of you guys. I didn't see it. I had to refresh, man. None of this stuff was in there. So anyways, this is the Discord server, right? Y'all make sure y'all join that, right? In the Discord server, I'm going to give you a link to this spreadsheet right here. This is basically a Google spreadsheet, right? As you can see right here. Basically what I did was I took all the exam topics for Encore exam, right? Broke it down into little, parts of the spreadsheet, which some of y'all, if you're familiar with this channel, y'all seen I already talked about this already, right? And then took the study material that I'm going to use to study for this exam, right? So this is pretty much the de facto standard. This book right here is called the Official Cert Guide. This book will have most of the topics that are in it, right? And then it'll tell you, this spreadsheet will tell you what page those topics are on, right? Now these are like subtopics. The subtopics are the ones that have the page. These are like main ones right here. So, and then some of this, I guess maybe some of them I did not fill out, so maybe I might have to fill out. But this right here is not really. This is more like a, how do I say, like a heading of this section right here. So like analyze design principles, right? Well, here's some of the design principles right here. So that's why there's no like chapter for it or anything like that, right? So we're going to be studying from obviously the Encore book, right? This book right here, and it tells you what page they're on. I also picked some random books or some random videos from, if you have a subscription to CBT Nuggets, hopefully you do, then you'll have like what video you need to watch to learn about that topic, right? Now, some of this stuff, it was before I, added some of the CBT Nugget stuff, so you'll see some YouTube links on here. So, for example, you want to learn about high availability, first hop routing protocols such as what? VRRP, GLBP, and also, what's the third one? HSRP, right? And also SSO, which stands for, what's that? Not single sign-on. Stateful switchover, right? So we have where in the book you can find it. I also have a YouTube video on it. Actually, about 3 YouTube videos on that stuff. Also, I have, at my job, I have a subscription to Pluralsight. So if you have a subscription to Pluralsight, then hopefully you can, watch some of that stuff on there too. But let me put it in the, got Jason in the building, said, welcome back. Appreciate that, man. Here is the spreadsheet. I put it in the general section of the Discord server. So make sure you join that Discord server for a copy of the spreadsheet, right? And let me know if the link is, y'all can't get to it or whatever. I think it'll ask me to let you guys see it. I might have to like do a public spread for that. Anyways, just click that link. You'll be able to get a copy of it. So not only that, this spreadsheet also tells you, y'all know my favorite 101 Labs book, right? Will tell you where you can find some of those topics in. Now, some of these topics are not applicable. So, for example, I know FHRP is on there. There's some HSRP stuff on there. So I don't know why I got an X there. Let me double check though. Yeah, there's definitely a HSRP in there. But if not, there's let me see. We got other stuff in here for it. So, for example, ether channels and security, right? So we go there, lab number 4 in that book, right? And this is what? Troubleshooting static and dynamic ether channels, right? Where in the book you can find it, which CBT Nuggets video you got to watch. I also have the old CCIE route switch videos, so some of that is on there as well. Some YouTube videos on that topic, right? And again, this is not a hard, like, this is what you have to watch to learn about that topic. You can edit this spreadsheet if you want and, tailor it to however you want to tailor it to it. You don't even have to use all of these study material that I'm going to be using. This is just what I'm going to be using. So, and then I'll be doing, I typically stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's when I'll probably like go over, say, Lab 3 for ether channels, LACP, PAGP, and multiple spanning tree. Let's see right here. This is the Encore lab manual. Now, I've got mixed reviews about this book right here, but I said I'm going to go ahead and still add it to my studies. I believe you need to be on the Cisco Networking Academy to get some of the files and some of the, I think, like the startup files for this book. But I said, you know what? I'm going to add it on here, and I put it on the spreadsheet. Also, Boson NetSim or Boson NetSim, however you want to pronounce that. That is pretty much, now I ain't going to say a standard, but this is comes highly recommended to use this network simulator. If you're familiar with that, it's kind of like Packet Tracer, but it is a simulator that is that follows a CCNA exam. It also has some CCNP topics, as you can see. So, like for example, ether channel right there. If we want to do some basic BGP, there's a BGP lab, and what topic is that? That is the configure and verify BGP between directly connected neighbors, right? So we got to learn about best path selection algorithm, neighbor relationships. This is some deep stuff, man. This ain't no, the simple CCNA stuff that we've been doing. We're going to have to do some deep study in here. So hopefully you guys will follow along with me. Also, another thing about this spreadsheet. Notice how I put right here some of this stuff in the red. That doesn't mean, no, you don't have to study it or be warned, right? This basically, what I did, this is just kind of like coding for me, right? This is what you have to learn hands-on, right? Anything that says configure and verify, and it's in red right there, you have to actually learn how to configure it and verify it by running show commands, right? Now, some of this other stuff, if you pay attention to these keywords, it says here, describe. So, describe layer 1 concepts. It says here what? Describe AP modes. Describe access point join, discovery and join process. Right here, red, configure and verify. So we have to actually configure and verify. When it says describe, they just want you to kind of like know the theory. You don't really have to do much hands-on. However, I did, like say for example, network time protocol. We can find that in what, page 842 in the official sort guide, right? We also have a YouTube video on that. Who's that? Some random guy I found on YouTube, and he does speak English. I'm glad he does. And notice, and I know I said that this was the CBT Nuggets column here, right? But I put some YouTube videos, but that was before I was like, oh, you know what? Why don't I just put some CBT Nuggets videos in here? But I already had a bunch of YouTube videos in there, so I said, let me just put it in there. So if you do have a CBT Nuggets subscription, just go in there. There's a search feature, and you can just type in NTP for, like, say, for example, Network Time Protocol, and you'll pull up all the NTP videos for it. Again, I have another YouTube video on it. This guy has a pretty good channel. Shout out to him. I forgot what his name is. Mixed Networks. That's a pretty good channel. I like his stuff. I also have a 101 Labs lab on it, so we'll be live streaming that. That is lab number 66 of the book. There's also the Encore lab manual. Again, I got mixed reviews about that book, but I said I'm going to still add it to my studies. Maybe we'll mix it up and then try to just break it and fix it. And also, Boson NetSim has a couple labs on it, Network Time Protocol Security. So basically, adding authentication to NTP. We also have GNS3Vault.com is a pretty good site, so we can get some labs from there. We can break some of those and stuff like that. This is just kind of like the learning groups right there. It's not really something that you have to have, but let's say you want to learn something about security. Let's say you go to this. These are the security labs right here, right? So these are the security labs right there. Again, the spreadsheet is in the Discord server, so make sure you are joined to the Discord server. Pete says, it asks us to request permission. You can make it public and view only to get around manually accepting everyone. Good idea. Good idea. Because I thought about that. I was like, I think it's going to be asking me every time ask me to share it. So let me go on there real quick. Share. And I do see some viewers here. Get link. How do I change that? Change to anyone with the link. There it is right there. This is restricted. Hold on, y'all give me a second here. I'm just kind of modify it so that way y'all could all get a copy of this. Open comment history. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. A minute. In a minute. Publish to the web. Edit right there. Target document. This is publishing. Yeah, give me a second here. But yeah, good suggestion there. Again, like I said, I don't have to take the Encore exam, man. So don't be asking me when you gonna take the exam, man. I don't gotta take this. I don't have to take Encore for one. I'm gonna take the NRC exam, but mine doesn't expire until 2023, so I have a long time before I really have to take the Encore exam. So I'm gonna be taking my time studying this stuff, man. Geez, where the hell is that at again? Editors, viewers you can download and stuff. Let me do this. Let me yeah, public right there. It says public. Make owner. Change to anyone on the internet. Anyone with the link. I don't want restricted. Anyone with the link. Okay. Disabled for public links. Y'all give me a minute. Y'all give me a minute. Give me a minute. Anyways, what are you guys studying for? Anybody take any exams recently? Or this is make Encore. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Gmail. Because I know I'm gonna get a couple of requests here. We got Professor Black Ops in the building. What's going on, Professor Black Ops? I have a study spreadsheet that I'm gonna be sharing with everybody. I don't see y'all requests, which is interesting. My Google Voice number is about to expire. I need to fix that. Is it still asking you guys to make a request? Y'all let me know. I'll go Yahoo real quick. Yeah, because I don't see no requests just yet. And I also put it to public. So last edit. Add-ons. Make available online. I see a whole I see some viewers and stuff on here, so just make sure you go to the, there's a link in the chat. It'll take you to the Discord server. So make sure you join the Discord. And then from there, you should be able to see the spreadsheet. I see viewers and stuff. Y'all let me know. You should be able to download it. And again, this is not a hard, you know, you see here's you guys right there. So this is not what you have to learn. Like, say, for example, if you want to learn about AAA, you have to do that. No, you don't. You know, you can create your own lab. You can watch some other videos if you want. This is just what I filtered. You know, I went and scoured through YouTube and scoured some books, joined the Reddit forum, and see what people are saying about these books and stuff like that. And I said, this is what I'm going to go with to study for the Encore exam. And again, I don't have to take the Encore exam. So, trying to figure out. And y'all let me know. I was thinking about doing a lab today. Y'all let me know if y'all want to do a lab. Is it public now? You see it now? You've got access. Pete's got access. Okay. Jason is asking for the Stig of the day. Professor Black Ops, what's up with that, man? We haven't done Stigs in a while. We haven't done anything in a while. At least I haven't. I mean, I just been doing a lot of work stuff, man. Just been, you know, taking care of my daughter and everything. Y'all believe it or not, I finally got a hold of, what's his name? Mr. 101 Labs himself. What's his name? Paul Browning. Yes, I was going back and forth with him, but Paul Browning. Let me see what, because I asked him a couple questions and I haven't went back in and seen what he said, but it was something that was didn't go my way. Let's see here. My way. Yeah, okay. So there you go. Yeah, we'll still be using the 101 Labs book. I wanted to do a giveaway. I was trying to get a copy of them, get one, but I haven't heard back from them since. It wasn't really that much of a back and forth. But either way, so y'all know the 101 Labs book that we've been using. We're going to be doing the CCNP level of it right now, right? So I guess if y'all want to start, we could start a lab today. Let me see, because I wasn't really prepared to really do one today. And y'all let me know if y'all want to do, even G, or if y'all want to do hardware. Y'all know how much I love my hardware though. So let's see. Channel, my notes, books, and the 101 Labs book. Page number, where we at here? So how many steps we got? Let me see, because I really didn't think I was going to start doing this today. Do I want to do this today? Y'all let me know if y'all want to do this today, man. Let's see. They doing VACLs and stuff? Nah, I don't think we're going to do this today. Let's see. Let me take a look at this, because I really didn't. Let's see here. Oh no, that's lab 2. Well, we might be able to do lab 2. If y'all want to start lab 1 today, y'all let me know. But we got 4. I'd have to power on 4 switches. I did not even get prepared today. I wasn't really. I know I said I was gonna start streaming today, but this was like I literally walked in the house not too long ago, y'all. So let me know. Have you guys been able to? Nice white paper tab. Appreciate that. That's right. I forgot to tell you guys. There's also, appreciate you for pointing that out. There's also a white paper tab, right? So you click this tab right here. There's also several white papers, right? So double click this guy right here. Double click that guy right there. You also have the, so we also have the lab, I mean each of the topics, right? From the CCNP Encore exam, right? Each of the topics here. And then there's also some white papers that go alongside these topics right here, right? Yes, every one of them. Like, see, look, for example, you want, let's see here, VRFs, right? There is a white paper on VRF. We click that guy right there. Takes you straight to Cisco's website. Full configuration guide on it. How many pages is that? I don't know, but it's a lot of pages. Full configuration guide. So, yes, we have a lot on our hands, but I've gathered plenty of material for y'all. So, we got no excuse, man. We got labs and videos. We got white papers. Like, all of this stuff is at our fingertips right here. I also created another, I started another tab right here, or another column right here. There's some extra learning books, right? Or some extra learning resources. Now, these are some books that came highly recommended from a lot of people on the Reddit forums, on the Cisco Learning forums, Cisco Learning Network, rather. These books right here, this is kind of like a standard, man. This book been out since, I don't know, goddamn, let me see, I want to say 2001, TCP/IP Volume 1 and Volume 2. That comes highly recommended by a lot of like CCIEs, a lot of people that's been in the networking field for several years. So let's say, for example, this book right here. I always hear about this book, so I said, let me go ahead and add that to our spreadsheet. How long has this book been out? And people still talk about it and reference it to this day. 2005, man. This is damn near. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is an old book, but comes highly recommended. You know, a lot of these protocols, y'all know they've been out for years, man. SE's like spanning tree protocol's been out for years. EIGRP's been out since what, 1993 or stuff like that. So a lot of this stuff is really old routing protocols, but they're still used in networks to this day. So that's why these books come highly recommended, because they're like the fundamentals. So we definitely gonna have to reference some of those books. What else do I got? This IPv6 book. Y'all know how much I feel about IPv6, but unfortunately we gotta learn about IPv6, right? Professor Blackops, man, we haven't learned about the sticks of the day just yet, man. Thought you was gonna tell us about it. Cody says he wants me to get into EVNG. I don't know, man. I don't know. Y'all know how I feel about EVNG, but whatever. He said, what kind of hardware would you recommend for a good home lab? That depends on what level you are, what level you're studying. If it's for Cisco stuff, like this Cisco networking stuff, if you are talking about hardware, a good router, it would be the 1841. I've got like 6 of them, right? Now, you don't need hardware for the CCNA exam. You really don't. You could just go with packet tracer and be able to pass it. But if you want hardware, like how much I like hardware, I would go with either the 1841 or the 1921 router. They're both quiet models. They're pretty compact. They're pretty cheap. You can go on eBay right now and find them for like 40, maybe even 50 bucks. 50 bucks is really on the high end, but I got a couple. Matter of fact, these 1841s, I got them for like, I think 20 bucks or $25. And the guy lived around here, so I didn't have to pay for shipping. So I just drove over there and got to him. Labeling and cabling back to back, right? Yeah, we should. I should get some hardware going here. The Cisco perimeter router must be configured to protect an enclave connected to an alternative gateway by using an inbound filter that only permits packets with the destination addresses within the sites. I'm assuming you're talking about, you said with an inbound filter, so I'm assuming like with an access control list, right? Yeah, I know we've been doing a lot of access control lists the last couple live streams. Y'all know what? Let's go ahead and get labbing, man. Let's get to labbing, man. This lab is lab number 1 in the book. Let me go ahead and we're just gonna get to it, man. We're just gonna get to it. This is just for today. Y'all know I might stumble through it because I haven't done. Y'all typically I do a practice run, but I said, you know what? Y'all gonna see my flaws and y'all gonna see my weaknesses. So we gonna get to it. I need to power on 4 switches. So if you got EVNG, go ahead and power on 4 switches in your routers or in your EVNG or GNS3, whatever. Y'all know I love hardware, so what am I doing, man? Paint is what I meant here. Paint. Close that bad boy. He's not on. All right, so this is the lab we're going to be using. And copy that. Copy. Boop. Paste. 4 switches, just like that. Let me get them going again. I don't want it too big. I know it's been a minute since we been doing some live streams. But it is what it is. I really wasn't ready to lab today, man. To be honest with you, I was just gonna share that spreadsheet with y'all and just call it a night. Because, like I said, I literally just walked in the house not too long ago, did some laundry. And I said, "Damn!" I told him I was gonna get to streaming today. But here we are. Nonetheless, we're gonna get to streaming. Let me go ahead and power on. Yes, my hardware. That is my terminal server. We are gonna get it going today. Fuck it. Let's see here. I need this green cable. Power on 4 switches. Switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, switch 4. Ugh, I did not get these guys. All right, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I need to remember. Damn it. All right. We still gonna get this going though, y'all. Just remember router 5 and router 6. Labeling and cabling. Labeling and cabling. Four switches, y'all. 4 switches. Switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, switch 4. We gonna get this going today. I really wasn't gonna lab today. I was just gonna share that spreadsheet with you guys, and that was it. But y'all know, I love doing this. I also have my lab that my boss gave me. And I haven't even tackled that yet. I told him how much I lab, and he's like, "Oh, for real? Okay, well let me set up a lab for you." Set up a lab with like 20 routers, and I haven't even gotten around to it. All right, so I got those guys powered on. How many tasks we got? We got 5 tasks for this lab. 5 tasks, but they're all like a gazillion tasks within the lab. So, I'm gonna make sure I get the labeling and cabling before we start next time. But y'all know I said I was not going to the lab today. I was just gonna stream, share that spreadsheet. Y'all make sure y'all hit me with that like button. If you got even G, go ahead and power it on. Again, we are studying for the CCNP exam, Encore. Do I have this? I want to make this a little smaller. It's a little too big. That's a little too big. That's a little too big. Let me make him like that. And then make him, I guess, you know what? Yeah, we'll keep it like that. We'll keep it like that. And then we'll just have to go back and forth between these two. Back and forth, right? All right. All right, so let me get me a marker here. I'm gonna make sure we ready next time, y'all. All right, so let's see here. Switch 1. Woo! See, look, I got a physically cable here, y'all. All right. I told you I wasn't gonna label. I wasn't gonna lab today, but it is what it is. Okay, FA011 goes to FA011 on router on switch 2. FA011 to FA011 on that guy. Right? Y'all let me know if y'all cabled up already. Oh, and if you're using even G, your interfaces are definitely going to be different, because I doubt y'all have 11 interfaces like that, right? Let me catch up with the chats here. What format is the boss lab? I don't understand your question. What format is the boss lab? Physical E or Eve? Are you talking about Boson? 20 routers sounds like easy work for Eve and G. Yes, you're right, Kobe, depending on if you have a server or not. Darth 3 says, my weakness shows up at powering up the equipment. Yours are going to be looking like strengths. Not necessarily. Like I said, typically I would get this stuff powered on before I start streaming. But like I said, I literally walked into the door and I said I knew I was gonna lab today at 8 o'clock. But I said I'm gonna get it going anyway. Let's see here. 20 routers. Yeah, 20 routers, man. That's crazy. He literally put, I don't know if it was 20. I take that back. Maybe it was like 11 or 12, but he definitely put a lot of routers in the lab. So we got FA01 or 1111. 9 needs to go to 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 needs to go to 9 on this guy. And if you're, in case you're wondering, why is this guy cabling his stuff up when he could just use a simulator or an emulator like EvenG or GNS3? Well, y'all know how much I'm a proponent of hardware. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Port 7 to port 7 on switch. Okay, so 9 actually goes to 9 on the other one, ALS2. Let me make sure I do this right now. Okay, so 11 to 11 there. And then 9 to, who's going to be ALS2? That's going to be ALS2. This is 9. All right. Okay. And then 7 to 7 on this guy right here. Seven to 7 on that guy. Okay, I think we got that. Now I gotta get a couple more cables here, right? And then on this one this is gonna be DLS2. Let's get some cables. Labeling and cabling. This might take a while, y'all. Labeling and cabling. Really was not gonna lab with y'all today. Discombobulated. We got Sam Rocky in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in, Sam. Basically, we are labbing up VTP, DTP, and STP. It's a whole lot of acronyms there. VTP y'all familiar with, right? VLAN trunking protocol is a way to propagate your VLANs across the network to kind of minimize the manual labor of creating VLANs and then doing them on every switch, right? You can do it automatically with VTP. So DLS2 on FA09 to FA09 on the last switch over there. FA09 on this switch right here. FA09 is right here. Looks like I've got some spanning tree being blocked here. I'm gonna have to go back and look at these cables again too. What else? 7 on this guy. So 7 on this guy as DLS2. 7 to FA07 on this one. This is 7 right here. I'm almost done. And then on the last switch, I have one. I think I've got it all cabled up now. I think they're all good to go. That last one has a switch going from 7 to, let's see, 7 to 7 on the first one. Yep. And then 9 to 9 on the second one. Okay. Okay. So let me get to labeling. Home lab. Where's he at? Now, remember I need to create some new sessions. Like I said, I was not prepared for this, but let's get to doing it anyway. So this one right here is DLS1, and then I have another one DLS2. So that's gonna be DLS1. Let me do that. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Host name is DL. Y'all know how to change the host name, right? DLS1. And then the next guy, this guy right here, should be DLS2. That's basically the distribution layer, right? So they basically followed the Cisco's 3-tier hierarchy here. That's why they did the host names like that, right? This guy is going to be DLS2. DLS2. Right? Let's make sure we got those two guys going. He's DLS1. He is DLS2. Hopefully he ain't got no VLANs on here because y'all know I was doing some work on here. Looks like I do not. Good. Good, good. This guy, I hope he don't have any VLANs either. I hope he don't have no VLANs. Show VLAN brief. Does he have any VLANs? Yes, he does. Let's get rid of him. no VLAN 50, right? Now I have two more routers that I had to steal my console cables for, or two more switches. These guys right here, ALS1 and ALS2. So basically, this is the distribution layer, and this is the access layer, right? Pop quiz. What is the layer that's going to sit above that one right there? If you know the Cisco's 3-tier hierarchy, what would be the third layer there? Put it in the comments if you know. So the next two right there should be 5 and 6, right? Let's see. Hopefully, yes. Okay. So I got him labeled as switch. So he's supposed to be DLS. My bad about that. Yes, DLS1, DLS2, and then the next two should have been, that's DLS3 and DLS4. Okay, so, I'm sorry, DLS3 and 4. So ALS1 and ALS2. So terminal, host name is ALS1, and the other guy should be ALS2, which is, it's labeled as router 6. I know it says router 6, but no, it's actually, it's just because I have, y'all know my, I did not anticipate labbing today, so that's why I actually had, I typically was going to do some routers here. So anyways, host name, he is going to be ALS2, right? So let's make sure I got this right here. Switch 1, DLS1. Switch 2, DLS2. This third one is ALS1, and this last one is ALS2. Let me make sure I got the cabling good. We got a blocked port here. We got a blocked port there. Blocked port everywhere. Blocked port everywhere. Block, 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 block. Only 2 blocked. Oh, I got some gigabit cables. I need to make sure I unplug those guys. All right. And I only got 2 blocked ports. And they are, let me show you where these blocked ports are at. And y'all know why some of these ports are blocked, right? That's another pop quiz for y'all, right? Let me catch up with y'all. Sam says, bro, what's the lab about? Paul B got it correct and Kobe got it correct. The core layers. Sam, what we are working with today is we're going to be working from this book called the 101 Labs Cisco CCNP book, right? This book right here, if you have the spreadsheet, if you don't, make sure you join to my Discord server. I'll send it to you again in a second. This is the spreadsheet right here. We are labbing from this book right here called 101 Labs Cisco CCNP. That book right there is authored by Paul Browning and this guy named Farai Tafa. And they have like a series of these books right here, right? And we are learning about, again, VTP, which stands for VLAN Trunking Protocol, DTP, which stands for Dynamic Trunking Protocol, and also STP, which is Spanning Tree Protocol. Now, I'm looking physically at my 4 switches here, right? There's 2 ports that are being blocked here. On ALS2, port 7 is being blocked. So, this right here, bloop, bloop, is being blocked. We also have, looks like, port 9 on ALS1. So, port 9, this right here is being blocked. Y'all know why it's being blocked here, right? It's because we got some redundancy there. So the rest of this traffic is being forwarded here, right? Now, let's see. Task 1 was all switches should reside in a VTP domain name called switch. So, y'all remember how to do that, right? We are going to create the VTP domain and call it switch. Right? So, basically, all of these guys, so what I'm going to do is we're going to create some VLANs on here. A VLAN, we could probably just do one VLAN on one, right? And it'll propagate to all of these guys right here. That way we don't have to create VLANs on every switch. So that's the point of using VTP, VLAN Trunking Protocol. Now again, these red X's are where the traffic is being blocked. Because why? Because of spanning tree. We created redundancy with all of these extra lines right here, right? But one of these need to be blocked, or else if we have a packet or actually a frame that goes across, it could cause a loop, right? And in order to stop this loop from happening, we just have to block some of these ports. And again, the ports that are being blocked is FA0, what is that? 7 on this. Sorry, that's ALS2. I believe that was the last one. I hope that was the last one. I might have to double check that though. So, ALS2, that's being blocked. And FA09, that guy's being blocked. So let me triple check this again. I'm going to triple check this again. Let's see. 07 on this switch goes to 07 on the first one. And then 09 on this switch goes to 09 on the second one. So yes, that's ALS. This is ALS 1. See, this is why I probably needed some kind of virtualization, but y'all know how I love my hardware, man. So I think this ALS 1 right here. So what is this right here? 07 goes to 07 on that guy. So then this is ALS 2 and that's ALS 1. Because this is 09 that goes to 09 on the first switch. Okay, so this ALS 2. Let me do this. Let me get to physically labeling, y'all. Yes, I'm putting a physical label on here. Old school. I said I did not plan on labbing today, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Just to make sure. Yes, the old school way. This boy is putting actual cables and labels. ALS. This guy's 2. And then the bottom one should be 1. Which means physically labeling and cabling. This is some old school ass shit, y'all. It is what it is. DL, distribution layer switch 1. So he's 1, he's 2. Let me make sure that, let me just go ahead and label all along. I don't care. It is what it is. ALS 1. White tape. All right. Y'all ready? Let's see. All switches should reside in the VTP domain switch. Y'all ready? So let's go to this guy. The VTP domain, we know how to do that, right? Configure terminal. VTP domain switch. That is the name of it. All caps. We need to copy that on all of them. So he's going to be in VTP domain switch. He is also going to be in VTP domain called switch. This guy right here is also in a VTP domain called switch. And then y'all notice it's changing from null to switch. That is the name of it. All switches should run VTP version 2. I guess y'all know what? I need to open up Notepad in here, man. VTP domain, version 2, right? Y'all know how to do that? VTP. How can we tell, right? We just run a show command. VTP, show VTP, right? Let's do that. And get rid of that logging. Console, line, console, 0, logging, synchronous. Right? And then we do a show VTP status. And we'll see we are running version... That is the revision number, not the version number. Don't get that confused now. We are running version 1, right? How many versions of VTP are there? Y'all remember? Let's check the white paper. Do I have a white paper on that? I don't know if I do. But I believe there's 3 versions of VTP. Yes, it is right here. See? Capable 1 through 3. So we need to make sure he is in VTP version 2. We'll do the same thing with the rest of these guys, right? All of them need to be running the same version, same domain. So he's version 2. He needs to be version 2. And he is also running version 2. We're still on task 1. We only got 2 more for this task. All switches should allow VLAN creation, deletion, and modification. So that means all of them need to be in the VTP server mode, right? Because remember, there's 4 modes of VTP. We got the VTP server mode, which allows you to create, delete, and modify VTP VLANs. You also have VTP transparent mode, which means all the VLANs that you create. Let's say, for example, this guy is in transparent mode, right? All the VLANs you create within him will be contained within him. He will not pass them on to anybody else. So he will not pass them on to this guy. He won't pass it on to this guy. He's going to keep all the VLANs to himself because he's selfish that way. That's what transparent mode. If somebody else passes on information to him, guess what? He's not going to pass that on either. That's why they call it transparent mode. So it's just going to like flow right through it, right? That's what transparent mode is. So there's server mode, there's VTP transparent mode, there's also client mode, which means you can't create VLANs, you can't modify them, you can only have them passed on to you and stuff like that. You can learn them from the server, but you can't create them or anything like that. That's the client mode. And the last one, does anybody know the last VTP mode? There is client mode, there's server mode, there's transparent mode. What is the last version of the last mode for VTP? Another pop quiz. I keep giving you all these pop quizzes, right? It's been a long time, man. It's been a long time. But I haven't left you without a dope beat to step to. What we got here? Show VTP status. Yes, Paul B said there's 3 versions of VTP. Sam Rocky said transparent. I said there is transparent mode. So yes, I said there's client mode, there's transparent mode, there's also server mode. What is the final mode for VTP? So he said all switches should allow creation, deletion, and modification. I left them at server. We could put them on transparent, all transparent. All switches should use a password of CCNP. Let's see. What mode are we in right now? Let's see. What mode are we in right now? I believe we're in server mode, right? Because that is the default mode. Show VTP status. He is in server mode. Let's see. I'm pretty sure they're all in server mode right now, right? Show VTP status. He is also in server mode. So I think we should. It's either server or transparent. I'm gonna go with. I like Paul B's answer. Transparent is a good mode that we should keep them on. Transparent mode will pass VLANs on from switch to another. Correct. Now, there is 4 modes though. There's VTP transparent mode, right? There's server mode. There's client mode. What is the 4th mode? It's a tricky one. And then he did say that they all should be able to create, delete, and modify. I like transparent. Let's go with transparent. I'm going to do that. I like Paul B's answer, man. Was that Paul B that said that? No, it was Sam Rocky. I like that. I like that answer. Transparent mode is recommended. I like that. You're right. You know why, Sam? Sam said it. Transparent mode is recommended because, for example, if we left them all at server mode, right? And let's say he got a higher revision number. Because remember, we have these revision numbers, right? Revision number 1. Let's say he's on revision number 2, right? And he creates a new VLAN called the, I don't know, the doo-doo VLAN. Don't know why I'm saying that. Maybe I'm thinking about my daughter who likes saying that word. The doo-doo VLAN, right? And then he has the higher revision number. And none of these guys have doo-doo VLAN. Guess what? And that's all he has. That's the only VLAN he has. He's going to pass it to all of these guys right here. And they all have to have that. And they might have some other VLANs. Let's say this guy has the, the mic VLAN. The mic VLAN. That's going to get wiped by the doo-doo VLAN. Because why? Because he has a higher revision number. If he has 2 and he has, let's say, version 1. So that's why what Paul is saying, we need to put it in transparent mode. I like that mode. We could leave it at server mode, but when you put it on server mode, you have you have the potential to wipe other VLANs depending on what revision number your switch is in. So let's put them all in transparent mode. I like that. I like that answer from Paul and Sam. So let's go with that. So VTP mode. And the last answer, the last mode that I was mentioning, that's right, Paul. Paul said it. It's the off mode. There it is right there. See, that's the 4 modes. Client, server, transparent, and you can do off. So that sets VTP, that turns it off. Technically, transparent kind of turns it off as well. That's what they do on a lot of enterprise networks. Because like I said, if you leave it on server, you have the potential to wipe other VLANs on other switches. So yeah, let's go with transparent for now. Right, transparent. Let's copy this and then put it on all these guys. Right. So set that to transparent. Set this guy to transparent. set this guy to transparent. I guess we back on the roll here. Y'all hit me with that like button if y'all like what y'all see so far. And typically we stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's been a couple weeks since we been streaming because I said we were pretty much done with the CCNP, CCNA version of this book, and come on, man. And I said we're gonna start studying for some CCNP stuff, but you know, I had a lot of work stuff, and I need to mentally prepare myself. And again, like I said, I don't have to take the Encore exam. I'm just doing this stuff because I am passionate about it. And plus, there's a lot of new topics that was introduced in the CCNP exam. So let's see here. Finally, for task 1, all switches should use a VTP password of CCNP, all caps. Y'all know how to set the password, right? How can we check it? We do show VTP status. You'll see the password is not on here. Let me raise this up for y'all to see it. And let me make sure that y'all can see everything here, too. Let me make this a little bit smaller. So, it looks like my face is all over the damn screen. Why y'all saying anything, man? Forgot off as a mode. Yes, Jason, that is one of those rare modes. That's why I like going back to the fundamentals, man. Let's see here. Go to the capture. The display. Turn off the lock. Not the display. Video. There you go. Make myself a little smaller. Y'all need my face all over the damn screen. Close this. Make that a little bit bigger. Alright, so if you notice, when we do show VTP status, right, we don't see the password. The way to check the password, you would think it would be in the show run, right? If you do show run and then look for all the VTP stuff, typically that sits at the top of the running configuration, right? We have the domain that we created, the mode that we put it in. We don't see the password there, right? Let's say we go back to, this is DLS1, right? Configure terminal. What am I doing here? VTP. We said the password is going to be all caps CCNP, right? We set the password to CCNP now, right? We do a show VTP status. The password is not there. We do a show run. Password is not there either. That's the tricky thing. You want to see the password, you actually have to do show VTP. If I could type VTP password. And that is how you verify the password. So we need to configure. That's what I mean by the configure and verify part, right? So we go back to the little spreadsheet that I've been sharing with you guys, right? Wherever the hell that's at. We scroll over to that guy. What we're studying here is, I don't think the VTP stuff is on here, is it? Anyway, all this stuff in here in the red, we need to configure and then verify, meaning the show command. So we need to know that stuff. So you need to verify the password. It's show VTP password. It's not in the running configuration, nor is it under show VTP status. So that's how you get the password, right? What else we got? We need to make sure we put that password on all the rest of these other switches, right? So we said VTP password is all caps CCNP. So we set the password to that. Same thing for these guys right here. Password is CCNP. Finally, this guy, global config mode, password is CCNP, right? We did make him, we put him in the domain, didn't we? I hope we did. All right, so that was task 1. We got 4 tasks today, or how many tasks we got today? Damn, we got a lot of tasks. 5 tasks, man. We only just got task 1, man. But y'all know we was talking about these spreadsheets, so let me task 2. What's task 2? Task 2, configure ALS1, which is this guy right over here. This guy right here, ALS1, which is the 3rd switch on mine, so it should be router. What's that? Is that him right there? I hope that's ALS1. Let me make sure. It should be, if we do a show span, port number 9 should be blocking. Show span, the one that's blocking is port 9. Yes, so that's ALS2. Oh, I made him ALS1 in here. Yeah, so then this should be, let me see, that's ALS2. That's ALS1. So it should be the other way around. ALS1 should have port 7 blocking. Let's see. So span, that's port 7, so that's blocking. So he need to be ALS1. Make sure I fix this. Host name ALS1. Again, your interfaces might be different, your setup might be different, and make him ALS2. Host name ALS2. There. Okay. Task 2. Configure trunking on the switches as follows. Configure ALS1, which is this guy right here, bloop, so that its interfaces will only trunk if the upstream switch is trunking. Y'all know what that is, right? So, get rid of all this. He said ALS1, this guy right here. Configure its interfaces. So this guy right here. Configure this as only if the upstream switch is trunking. So if the upstream switch, which is this guy right here, and this guy right here, if they're trunking, then let it be a trunk. So we're not going to hard code it as a trunk. He's saying only if the upstream if the upstream switch is trunking. So that means we need to make it so that way if these two are trunking, then yes, go ahead and make this a trunk, and go ahead and make this a trunk. Which means we need to set it as a, I believe a dynamic trunk, dynamic DTP. So auto, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. Kamani Dixon retracted his message. It's all good though. Let's see. Okay. Go back to that. Make sure I got that right. Yeah, only if the upstream switch is trunking. Let me just look at the other tasks to make sure that I got that correct too. Because DLS1 says configure DLS1 so that its interfaces will actively attempt to become trunk links. So that means they're going to make the distribution layer switches hard-coded as a trunk. They want them to actively become trunks. This guy has a trunk, this guy becomes a trunk. So that means this will be passively turning into a trunk, and this will passively turn into a trunk, right? So this, I know we need to hard code these guys as a trunk, but they wanted these to be passively become a trunk. So let's go to ALS1, and we need to do FA07 and FA09. I'm going to start off with FA07. Global config mode, interface FA107 on my switch. Remember, your interfaces might be different. Switch port mode. Let's see what they wanted here. That means we want it to become a trunk, but to dynamically negotiate. So we're not going to hard code it as a trunk. This would be hard coding it as a trunk. This is to set the trunking mode to dynamically negotiate. And that's what I think it is. Switch port mode dynamic. Right? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what they're saying here. So that its interfaces will only trunk if the upstream switch is trunking. So again, this will become a trunk and this will become a trunk only if the upstream switch, this is the upstream switch, that is the upstream switch. If these guys are trunking, then go ahead and make these a trunk. So I think by default they are set to dynamic. So let's see. If we do a show interface FA, come on man, interface FA107 and then do switch port, let's see what it is already. It's set to dynamic auto. So I think dynamic auto, but then the operational mode it's operating as an static access, right? And it's set to negotiate, which is what we want there, but we want, I think it's switch port negotiate. I think that's what we're looking for. Let's see here. Yes, Sam Rocky said it. Shout out to Sanford that's saying that. Negotiate. Exactly. And Aaron Lewis said, set the dynamic auto by default. Yes, it is set to dynamic auto by default. And like what Sam Rocky said, negotiate. So as I was doing my process of elimination, that's when I realized, yes, we have to set it to negotiate. And if we don't know the answer to that, that's what I love about this book right here that we're studying from. In case you're just tuning in, right? We're studying from this book right here. 101 Labs, Cisco CCNP. You can get a copy of this from 101labs.net. There is also a solution guide. So in case we don't know the answer, right after that lab, it tells us where what the answer is. So, and I think that is what it is. It is negotiate. So we need to set port 107, which is this guy right here, and 109 to negotiate, right? So as opposed to non-negotiate, to not negotiate as a trunk, right? So interface FA107 switch port negotiate, not non-negotiate. We set it to switch port. Or we said dynamic. I thought we said dynamic, didn't we? Switch port. You see, if we did non-negotiate, it would not negotiate. Switch port mode. We can do switch port. Switch port. I think that's what it was. Mode. Dynamic. Right? We question. We'll do auto or desirable. And we're going to set it to, and these are the two differences right here. We do auto, we set it to auto, then it'll just kind of like wait for negotiation. So we'll set both of those to, I believe, switch port dynamic auto, as opposed to desirable, which means it'll desire to become a trunk, and that's not what we want. We said to, what was it he said he wanted us to do with it? It'll only trunk if the upstream switch is trunking. So yes, dynamic auto, and then switch port negotiate, not negotiate, not non-negotiate. I believe we just leave it as negotiating. So right now we have it as switch port dynamic auto. We do a show interface FA107. We'll do the same thing on the next one, 109. So 107. And then we got to do switch port. Add the switch port keyword. And right now we have it set to dynamic auto. Static access. It's set to negotiate. What else do we need to add to it though? He said dynamic desirable should form a trunk also. Yes. You're right, but I believe dynamic desirable is what we want to do with these guys, because he said on the same on the same task is configure DLS1 and DLS2 so that its interfaces will actively attempt to become trunk links. So I think we can leave those as default, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? Do these look good so far? Show run interface FAST107. We don't have anything on it, so that is a default mode. Interface FA107. We wanted switch port mode. We don't want dynamic. We already have it as dynamic. We're setting the trunk mode unconditionally, and that's not what we wanted on this one. So you said dynamic. No, what was the other modes? Let's see here. Not non-negotiate. We don't want to non-negotiate. Protected. Yeah, I think that's all we needed. We can leave those as is, if I'm not mistaken. Now, these two right here, we want them to actively become a trunk. Actively attempt to become trunk links. So, let's do this. On DLS1, these guys right here need to actively become trunk links. Actively become a trunk. Actively become a trunk. Active. Actively become trunk links. So DLS1. FA07. So switch port mode No, it was switch port dynamic. I mean, oh, my bad. Hold on, what you said again? You said it was dynamic desirable. That's what it was. Okay, so it was switch port. What was the other mode? What was the other one we was at over here? It was, that's what it was. So switch port mode, dynamic desirable. Switch port mode, dynamic, and then desirable. That will automatically, it desires to be a trunk. That's what I remember correctly. And then the same thing for these two right here. And then it'll become a trunk after that, right? So let's see. He's turned that port down, and then it turned up, right? So now we do a show interfaces trunk. We should see FA107 is now a trunk, right? So it became a trunk right here, 107. So this one, if we go to ALS1, should technically become a trunk now too, right? So we go to ALS1, which is right over here, I believe. Yes. So now 107, we do show interfaces trunk. Oh, we got some VLANs on here. I did not mean to do that. So now 107 is a trunk. See? And that's what happened there. We need to get rid of some of these VLANs, man. What the heck just happened there? Oh, we got an interface VLAN there. That's why. Show VLAN brief. Lord. Let's get rid of some of this stuff, man. This is stuff from like previous labs that I had here, which is also why you guys want to use some no VLAN 2, 10, and 20. Can you do that? No, you can't. Can you do commas and then that? 2, 10, 10, 20, comma, 10, comma 20? No, you can't do that. I thought you could. No VLAN 2, 10, 20, 20. And then we have some interfaces there. Show interfaces. Show IP interface brief. I need to get rid of some of these VLANs here. These stuff right here from previous labs. This is why you want to use hardware. I mean, not hardware, but virtualization, right? Let's get rid of some of that. No interface VLAN 1. You can't get rid of that. 10 and 20. That's food for thought for y'all right there. Didn't know you can't delete interface VLAN 1. Hopefully I got rid of those guys. So IP. That was from previous labs. Interface brief. Let's get rid of that IP address. Interface VLAN 1. No IP address. Okay. Show IP interface brief. Got rid of that. Okay, good. Alright, so now I need to do 9, 11. That's pretty much it. Those two guys, these guys right here, need to be dynamic desirable, right? Dynamic desirable. DD. We did this one already. So let's do DLS1. 9 interface FA109. Switch port. What was it? Mode dynamic desirable. So that's gonna make that should form a trunk over here. So this should become a trunk. Right? Notice it's going down and then it's coming up. And then once we do the same thing over here, this side should also become a trunk. This side right here should become a trunk once we make that the dynamic desirable, right? And I should have done it on this because it's gonna form a trunk also. So let's do this, because on what was that? Let me see. What did you say here? Trunk dynamic auto. So stop DTP switch port. Non-negotiate. I think they are asking which DCP mode initiates the negotiation trunk of a trunk, which is dynamic desirable. Yes, it does. That's correct. Oh, so Sam saying to stop DTP, switch port non-negotiate. Yes, but where did they say to not negotiate? They didn't ask that yet, just yet though, right? They didn't ask us to turn off negotiation of a trunk. It did say on task 2, configure ALS1 so that its interfaces will only trunk if the upstream switch is trunking, which is what we're doing over here and here and here, right? DLS2 also wants to actively become a trunk. So let me do that also on DLS2. I'm going to do 9 and 7 to actively become a trunk. Actually, let me stay here. I'm going to stay on DLS1 real quick. I'm sorry if I'm confusing you guys. So FA011, got to do the same thing. Interface FA1011, switch port mode dynamic desirable. That should become a trunk now, right? This should become a trunk, and then this should desire to become a trunk as well. So, but it's already gonna form a trunk, but it's gonna negotiate that though. So let's go back to DLS2 and see what happened. Show interface trunk. He's probably gonna have 3 interfaces trunking now. No, he just has FA011. So only this one is trunking. And it negotiated, so we want it to desire to become a trunk. Let's go to interface FA1011, switch port mode dynamic desirable. So notice this N right here means it negotiated to become a trunk. If we do a show interfaces trunk, TRUNK. Now it's still negotiated though. So, but it's now set to desirable mode, whereas last time it was on auto. But it negotiated to become a trunk. We could probably shut it and then bring it back up for it to be just ISL. But they didn't say they wanted 802.1q as the trunk encapsulation. So, anybody any questions or anything? Let's see what he said. Aaron said, I think they were asking, yeah, you said that already. So to stop DTP. But yeah, did they ask us to stop DTP or to turn off dynamic trunking protocol? I don't think so. They didn't ask us. But yes, that was a good point though. To turn off dynamic trunking protocol, it's switch port non-negotiate. That turns off dynamic trunking protocol. Because sometimes we don't want trunks to automatically form. And that's what that's what happened here. All these trunks that are being created here, I know there's like a lot of squiggly lines and shit over here, but these trunks became formed automatically. Let's see. Got a message here.
Bruh.
All right, so yeah, so all these trunks that we created here, they were formed automatically. And for security reasons, you want to turn that off. And like what Aaron said, the way to turn it off, well, not Aaron, but Sam said, to turn it off, you got to do switch port non-negotiate. Switch port mode non-negotiate. That turns off dynamic trunking protocol, right? So let's say we wanted to turn off, if we didn't want this to become a trunk right here, right? And we did one side, right? FA019. Let's say we was on, what's that switch? DLS2. We go to FA, what's that port? FA09. So we go to global config mode, and it's just, we're not going to do it right now, but I'm going to show you, right? So interface FA109, we just do switch port mode non-negotiate, right? Isn't it non-negotiate? Or is it just switch port negotiate? Non-negotiate. Switch port non-negotiate. That turns off dynamic trunking protocol, right? So we question mark, you'll see for context sensitive help, device will not engage in a negotiation protocol on this interface. Essentially turning off DTP. I know it sounds a little cryptic there. Don't tell you that, but that's basically what that means. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? We can even go back to the answers of this guide, and it'll tell you that. Tell you what the answers are. Oh, this app is getting on my fucking nerves.
Bruh.
All right, so Geekmeister said, "Welcome back. Appreciate you, man. We are gonna start tuning in again, man, and make sure you are logged onto the Discord server. I shared my spreadsheet here. This is the lab study sheet that we're going to be using here. or the study sheet that I'm going to be using to study for the Encore exam. And no, I don't have to take the Encore exam. This is just, I'm just going to be studying this stuff because I'm passionate about it and I want to learn everything about, you know, computer networking and stuff. So I'm just going to be studying this stuff for fun. Now, the Anarchy exam I do have to take, and I do have a study plan just like this for the Anarchy exam, but we're just going to be going over the Encore exams because there's a lot of new stuff that they added to this exam and stuff like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So what was the next task? I think that's it for task 2. These interfaces become a trunk link. And that's pretty much it. Task 3 was to configure following VLANs only on DLS1. So we got to go to DLS1, which is this guy right here. And he said to configure the user-VLAN, which is VLAN 100. Oops. So VLAN 100 on here. VLAN 100 on here. And what else? VLAN 200 on here as well. So VLAN 200 as well. And they said the user-VLAN, I'm not going to write it all out. And the other one is the file-VLAN, all caps, right? So we're going to go to DLS1. We know how to create VLANs, right? We've done it a million times on this channel. VLAN 100. He said to name it the user-VLAN, and VLAN 200 is the file-VLAN. Hopefully they did not propagate to our other switches, right? Because if we do, I put switchboard there. I hope that didn't change anything to that guy. Show VLAN brief, because we put everything in dynamic, right? So we created the VLANs here, but they did not propagate to any of these other guys right here yet, right? Because why? They're all in transparent mode, so they're not gonna be sharing VLANs like that. So let's go back to this guy and see we created our VLANs. Show VLAN brief, and that's the VLANs that we created. That's good to go. Only on switch DLS1. What else he said? Configure switch DLS1 so that Cisco iOS software automatically elects it as the root bridge for both VLANs without explicitly specifying a priority value. That's a pretty tricky one, right? I'm going to read this back again. Configure switch DLS1, which is the switch we're on right now. This guy right here. So that the Cisco iOS software automatically elects it as the root bridge for both VLANs without explicitly specifying a priority value. Now, remember, when we talk about spanning tree protocol, we elect one of these switches to be the root bridge. What is that? Basically the switch that all the traffic need to get to before it leaves the network, before it leaves the local area network. So let's say we had the internet out here, right? I know that's the ugly cloud right there, but let's say he is the internet, right? Before, and then we had a computer that needed to get there, right? And he's connected to this guy, right? Before he sends any traffic, before he sends any traffic to the internet, it needs to go to the root bridge first before it goes to the internet. So this book said for us to configure this guy to be the root bridge for two of those VLANs, right? VLANs 100 and 200. So that means when we send traffic from this computer right here, I know that's an ugly computer, if he sends traffic to the internet, he needs to go to the root bridge first before he goes anywhere else and then go out to the internet. So he needs to go to the root bridge first before he goes out to the internet, right? For those VLANs. So if he sends traffic through that VLAN, you need to go to root bridge first. But we need to explicitly say who the VLAN is. I mean, who the root bridge is for that VLAN. There's two ways we can do it. We could do it by setting a priority, but he said not to do it with a priority, or we could just say become the root with some keywords. And I'll show you how to do that, right? So we're on DLS1, right? We said we need to be the root bridge for both VLANs 100 and 200. Now he said configure switch DLS1 so that the iOS software automatically elects it as the root bridge for both VLANs. Let's figure out who the root bridge for those VLANs are. 100 and 200. Most likely it's him. How do we do that? We do show span root. Actually, we could just do show span and it'll show us all the VLANs, right? Show span, right? Who is VLAN 1 root bridge? It is whoever this switch is. We'll figure that out later. Who is the VLAN 100 root bridge? It is whoever that switch is. It's me. This bridge is the root for VLAN 100. Is that the same thing for this guy? No. There is a cost. When you see there's a cost, that means somebody else is the root bridge because there's a cost to get there. Right? That's something we need to remember. So that's for VLAN 100. We are the root bridge for VLAN 1. But it was automatically done. We don't want that. We want it to explicitly say. And I'll show you how to do that, right? VLAN 200. Who is the root for VLAN 100? This bridge is the root. So right now, I am the root bridge for VLANs 100 and 200. That's good. But we wanted to explicitly say that. How do we do that? We go to global config mode. And we say spanning tree VLAN 100. We question mark for context instead of help. And it says here, right here, priority. We can set the bridge priority for the spanning tree. Set the bridge priority for the spanning tree. But remember, he said configure DLS1, switch DLS1 so that the iOS software automatically elects it as root bridge for both VLANs without explicitly specifying a priority value. So this is not what we're going to use. We're not going to use that function. We're going to use this function, configure switch as a root. I love how intuitive and how clear it says it right there as day. Configure switch as the root. So we're going to configure the switch as root for VLAN 100. How do we do that? Spanning tree, VLAN 100, root. But also, we question mark. We'll see here, we can set it as the primary root or the secondary root. He didn't say anything about secondary, so we're going to set it as primary. And that's how we do it. Spanning tree, VLAN 100, root, primary. I know it's kind of tricky, and I hope I explained it correctly, but that is how we set it up as the root bridge for VLAN 100. Any other questions? Sorry if I'm confusing you or anything, but these are like I said, this is the CCNP topics, and this is going to be a little more confusing and a lot more complex than the CCNA topics. Let me refresh because I don't see anything, unless y'all just being quiet right now. Give me a second here. Yes, okay, y'all being quiet. All right, so we set it as the root bridge for VLAN 100, right? And let me show you something else. Our priority for the bridge was 3268, right? So it was done automatically by the iOS. Now that we set it as the root bridge, what is it going to change to? It says it was 32868, right? Which is pretty much, it's 32, what's that number? I believe 32768, something like that. Yeah, I believe it's 32768 was the default priority. And then you add 100 to it, that becomes the bridge priority. That's why it's 32868. So it's 32768 is the priority, plus the one VLAN number, 100, which gives it the bridge ID of 32868, right? Now, if we run that command again, show span VLAN 100, so we can explicitly see what it is. Now, the bridge priority is 24676. So the priority was 24576 plus 100, which gives us 24676. That is our bridge ID, and now we are the root bridge, but we explicitly made it the root bridge with the keyword VLAN 100 root, like this right here. Where did we do that? I did it somewhere up there. Show me again. Right there. Spanning tree, VLAN 100 root primary. We got to do the same thing for VLAN 200, right? I know it's taking a while here. So span tree VLAN. Who is the we said for 200 we are the root bridge, right? But remember, our VLAN, our priority before was 32968, and watch how it changes, right? So this is the default priority, 32768 plus 200, which just gives us the bridge ID of 32968, right? So now we're going to change that with spanning tree VLAN 200 root primary. And now if we do a show span VLAN 200, and we'll see the priority changes to 24576 plus 200, which gives us 24776. And he is now, see, he's still the root bridge. He was the root bridge anyway, but we changed the priority, and that's what they asked us to do there, right? I hope I didn't confuse you guys or anything like that, and I'm hoping this may or may not be new topics to y'all, because like I said, we're doing CCNP topics, so hopefully if you have your CCNA or if you've been studying CCNA, this is not really new to y'all. So like I said, we're just kind of moving on to more complex topics and stuff, right? So that was task 3 for both of those VLANs without explicitly specifying a priority value. Task 3, He also said, ensure that switch, DLS2, is also automatically elected backup root bridges, or elected backup root bridge for both VLANs. So we also need to make him the backup root bridge. Interesting. So we set him up as the primary root bridge. We also may want to make him the backup root bridge. So pretty much the same thing, but you're going to put secondary, right? So, right, that's what he said. DLS, no, he said DLS2 needs to be the backup. So my bad. So right now, he is the primary. He is going to be primary root bridge for VLANs 100 and 200. Primary, right? P. He is the primary root bridge for those guys. Now, this guy is going to be the primary for, the backup root bridge for 100 and 200. Why do we do this? Y'all know why? Because just in case this guy goes kaput, right? We have backup root bridges. Because remember what I said about the root bridge, right? If this guy is the primary root bridge, right? And all the traffic needs to go through here, right? All the traffic needs to go to this switch before we go out to the internet. Remember that little fake cloud that I had over here, right? But if this switch goes down, where's he gonna go to send his traffic? Well, guess what? This guy is the backup. So now when we send traffic for VLAN 100, it's gonna go here before it goes out to the internet, and that's what the root bridge is for, right? It's kind of a way to kind of like manipulate our traffic on the local area network, right? So we gotta have a root bridge. So we need to set this guy as the backup root bridge for those VLANs, right? So let's go to DLS2, this guy right here, right? He is DLS2. We need to set him up to be the backup VLANs for VLANs 100 and 200. Now, interestingly enough, we didn't create those VLANs on this switch, right? Yeah, we didn't create those VLANs on those switches. So that's what's interesting here. So if we do a show VLAN brief, what VLANs do we have on here? We don't have any, but we're gonna make him a backup root bridge for those two VLANs. Let's see what happens when we do this, right? Go to global config mode. Y'all got any questions so far? Any pointers for me? Anything else that we can do to manipulate our traffic? Or did I get anything wrong yet so far? Let me know. Remember, I don't know everything. This is kind of like my learning journey as well. So I'm just teaching y'all what I know, and I'm learning from you guys as well. He said we need to be the backup VLAN for VLAN 100 and 200, right? Let's see what happens when we do this. Even though we don't have any information about VLANs 100 and 200. And we're in what? Transparent mode? Show, let's see, show VTP status. VTP status. I need to make these guys logging synchronous by automatic. We set the password. He is in the switch VLAN. He is running version 2. And we are in transparent VLAN mode. Good. VTP mode, right? So we said spanning tree, VLAN 100. He needs to be the root bridge secondary. So he's going to be secondary. What happens here? We do that secondary for 100, right? Now we do a show span VLAN 100. Right here. That's what's interesting. Spanning tree instance for VLAN 100 does not exist. Even though we put this keyword here, right here. Show a spanning tree VLAN 100. Root secondary. So he is the backup root bridge. That's interesting, right? Why do we do show VLAN brief? Is 100 on there? No. Why? Because he is transparent mode, right? So let's do the same thing for VLAN 200. VLAN 200. All right, so configure terminal. And this is also why I was thinking we needed to be in server mode too. That's what I was thinking, because we don't have any instances for VLAN 100. Why? Because we don't have VLAN 100 on here. No spanning tree instances. Or no spanning tree instances. So let's do that anyways for VLAN 200 as well. So spanning tree VLAN 200 root secondary. So he is now backup root bridges. We do a show span, right? We do this. Let's do show span, right? He is the root bridge for VLAN 100, but he still has no instances for VLAN 200. Right? Is that because we need to be in transparent or in server mode? Anybody know why we got that? Show span VLAN 200. Spanning tree does not exist. Does that mean we have to change it and put it in server mode? I don't know. Y'all let me know. I'm tempted to see what happens. Let me check. I don't see any blocked ports here. I'm looking at all of these ports here. I don't see any blocked ports here. Let's go back to this guy right here. Show span. Let's show all of them. All the VLANs here. Actually, we can do a show span summary, right? Show span summary. Here we go. Root bridge for 100 and 200. We have the 3 VLANs there. Nobody's blocking. Let's do this. Show span. Let's show all of them. We're forwarding for VLAN 1 on all ports. Forwarding for VLAN 100 on all ports. And forwarding for VLAN 200 on all ports. Because we're root bridge for all of them. Anybody have any pointers or anything else before I move on? If not, then I'm going to just move on. Because remember, we made this guy the backup root bridge, but he doesn't even have any knowledge of VLANs 100 and 200. It says right there, spanning tree instances do not exist for VLANs 100 or 200, right? We do 100? None of them. So, I'm going to move on to task, what is that? Task 4. We only got 5 tasks here, so we're almost done here. Configure spanning tree on switches ALS1 and ALS2 as follows. So I'm going to go to ALS1. That's ALS1 right there. I'm going to move it over so that way we know. So right now we're going back on this switch right here. There's ALS1. And he said, what he said. Port FA07 on ALS1. This guy right here. This port. That port right there. He said, and port FA09. So this port right here should be forwarding for VLANs 100 and 200. But what are we forwarding for right now? Enable. Show VLAN brief. Well, we don't even have any knowledge of those VLANs. That is why I don't think we need to be in transparent mode. Because they don't have any knowledge of those VLANs. Those VLANs are contained within itself. That's why I thought we needed to be in server mode. Because it says here, yeah, ports. Those 2 ports should be forwarding for VLANs 100 and 200, right? So should be forwarding for VLANs 100 and 200. But see, remember, he doesn't even have any knowledge of those VLANs. And if we just do show span, he'll just have a spanning tree instance probably for just VLAN 1, right? Show spanning tree, and there it is right there. And he is not even the root for that bridge. I mean, for that VLAN. Somebody else has a lower priority, a lower MAC address rather, and he's blocking on that port. So on VLAN 1, he is actually blocking this port right there, right? That's what it says right there. And he has a root port to that. So this is his root port to VLAN 1. So this is his root port for VLAN 1 right there. Bro, server mode and client must be in the same domain. Okay, true. But remember, you guys were mentioning that it should be in transparent mode. And that's why I was like, I don't know, man. But you know what? We're going to go with that. He said, is this CCNP topic? Yes, Kina, it is a CCNP topic. Now, a lot of this stuff is CCNA level stuff. But from the book, we got it from this book right here, 101 Labs Cisco CCNP book. You can copy this from 101labs.net. There should be a link in my description box, but I think that still points to the CCNP version of this book. So let me do this. Let me go ahead and fix that right now. We'll go to Amazon, and I'll show you guys Amazon.com 101 Labs CCNP. And this is a copy of the book. Right there. Oops. I hope that's the name of it. Yes. There should be a share button for this right here. Where is he at? Where you at? Where you at, man? All I see is keywords, and that's not what I wanted. There should be a link for this book. Let's go to that one. And that's a keyword. And let's go back to the CCNP version of it, which is right here. And there it is right there. This is the lab we are studying from. But yes, it is more of a CCNP topic or CCNA topic, but it is in this CCNP book. So this is kind of like the first lab in that book. It is the first lab in that book. I'm going to share it with you guys. You can get a copy of it from Amazon also. That should be the link. Oh, that link is too long. So let me put it in the description of this book. I mean, of this stream here. Put it in the description of the stream. Edit. This is the lab guide we use. There should be a short copy of this share button. Let me make sure I get the short version of it, because that shit is too long there. Y'all give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. In a minute. In a minute. In a minute. Where are you at, man? You gotta follow. Secure. I'm gonna put the short version of this later. Let me do that. I'm gonna put the short version of it later. But I'm gonna put it in the description of this book. I mean, of this stream here. All right, the 101 Labs book. I hope that says, yeah. So it's the 101 Labs book right there. So this book right here is where we're getting it from. And let's go back to right here. It says here, yeah, configure spanning tree on switches ALS1 and ALS2 as follows. And what did you guys say? What did you guys say? There was some tip that he was saying here. Server mode, yes. Server mode and client must be in the same domain. Yes. Now, I did put them in the same domain though, didn't I? Let's see. Let's see. What domain did we put them in? We did put them in. We put them in show VTP status. Yes, the domains was switch. So I think they need to be in client mode. I mean in server mode. So let me make sure. Let's see what the book. That's what I love about this book. It gives us pretty much the answers. So let's see what he said here. We got the dynamic desirable correct. Oh, you can do an interface range and then copy. I didn't know you can do an interface range and then not be in a whole range. But let's see. What did he do? What did he do? What did he do? Domain. What modes did he put him in? So interface is trunk. Now he did not change. He did not put them in transparent mode, which is what I thought. He didn't even put them in server mode, so they were already there by default, and that's probably why he left it that way. So we put them in transparent mode, and that's why none of the VLANs are propagating, which is what I was mentioning earlier in this lab. I'm not gonna blame it on y'all, but I said I like put it in a transparent mode. We do it at my job. We did it at the last organization I worked at, so it's a way for us to propagate our. We can create a VLAN on here, right? Let's say we created VLAN 500 on here, right? It'll stay within here. It's not going to go across and put VLAN 500 on all of them, but that's what we needed to do. So, and remember, when we looked for the spanning tree instance on DLS2, this is what it told us, right? It said the spanning tree instance does not exist for there because why? It doesn't know anything about VLAN 100 and 200. Why? Because we put them in transparent mode, right? So we do show VTP status. We'll see he is in transparent mode. So anything that's created on here will stay within here. So if we put him in server mode, most likely it'll come across. We'll have knowledge of that VLAN, right? We could also put it in client mode. But he said, remember, on task 1 that all switches should allow VLAN creation, deletion, and modification. So that takes out the client mode. We don't want to put it in that, right? So let's go ahead and put everything else in server mode, which is what they were at. So DLS2, let's put him in VTP mode server. And let's see what happens now. Right? Now we do show VTP status. We put him in server mode. And now, does he know about the other VLANs? Show VLAN brief. He doesn't know about the other VLANs. Interesting. Even though we created the VLANs on here. Does he have any trunks? Let's see what trunks he got. Show interfaces trunk. He has only FA011 trunking. Only this guy right here is trunking. Only that guy. So let's do this. It is trunking. So all the VLANs should be going across that trunk. So why is he not learning about VLANs 100 and 200? Probably because that guy is in, that's what it is. This guy is in transparent mode. So all the VLANs are contained within them. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this in server mode, that in server mode, and we should see all the VLANs propagate after we put him in server mode. Right? So let's do that. So that's probably what the issue is. So we put him in server already. Let's put this guy in server also, because right now he's in transparent, right? VTP mode server. And let's put this guy also in server mode. VTP mode server, right? So now that all of these guys have S's on them, right? This guy's in server mode. This guy's in server mode. This guy's in server mode. So right now he's in transparent mode. He is not sharing any of his VLANs, right? Once we make him a server, that should theoretically propagate all of those VLANs across these trunks right here, right? But right now, only this one is trunking. So this guy's not trunking, nor is that guy trunking. Why not? Let's see. What do we make 09 and 07 as? We got a little bit of troubleshooting before we do all of that. Let's go to DLS2 real quick. DLS2 has only FA011 trunking, right? So only this guy right here is trunking, right? We need to make that guy trunk and that guy trunk. Why is that? He needs to actively become a trunk. Let's do a show interface FA10109. Remember, your interfaces might be different. I do switch port. And right now he is set to negotiate, and it is set to dynamic auto static access. We need it to be desirable, right? Configure terminal interface FA. We can do a range. I didn't know this. I didn't know you could do this range command right here, right? So you do interface range, and you could do just 2 ports, and they don't have to be in sequential order like that, right? Or not sequential order, but like in a contiguous block. So 07 and 09, right? So I gotta do FAST 107, 9. That's how he did it in the book. Let me see how he did it real quick, because I didn't know you could do this. Maybe my version of iOS I can't do that. Interface range. Oh, you gotta leave out. Oh, you gotta type it in again. Watch this. So FA07, 107, and then FA1009. I didn't know you could do that. I mean, I knew you could do interface range, but I didn't know you. I thought they had to be like 7 through 9 or 7 through 30 or something like that, right? But you can do specific ones like that. Y'all let me know if y'all knew that already. But I ain't gonna front. I didn't know that. So we said switch port mode dynamic desirable. So now they should form a trunk. There they go, 7 and 9 right there. So they're going down. Now they're coming up. So now we do a show interfaces trunk. Ah, we have a mismatch here. Interesting. Equal revision summary on trunk 109. So 109, we have an issue right here. Sound the alarm. We got an issue right here. 109. What do we got here? It says checksum mismatch on receipt of equal revision summary on trunk 109. Probably because of the password. I don't remember. Let's see. Let's see. Show interfaces trunk first of all. Good. We're trunking on all these ports now. So 107, 9, and 11. So now all of these guys are trunking. So he's trunking, and he's trunking. But we have an issue on 109. What is that? Let's do a show VTP status and see what the issue is. The password was right here. We got an issue here. MD5 checksum mismatch on trunk 109. What is the issue? Is it the password? What kind of we have a password issue or something? Y'all let me know what y'all see, what this issue is, or what y'all think this is. Keena said, what should I go for study? CCNP even G or GNS3? Comma space. Pete, I didn't know that. Comma space. I mean, I knew you could do the hyphen, so like 1 through 9 or 1 through 10, but I didn't know you can do 1 and then comma 5 and then comma. I didn't know you had to, but you have to actually type in the interface again, so you have to do FA10 whatever. But anyways, Pete S said he doesn't have a password set. I think that's what it is. Let's see. Show, but he formed the trunk of the other guys. Remember? Show VTP password. He does have a password set, Pete, but that's a good question. Let's see. He said so we have an issue right here. What is the issue? Does ALS1 have a password? Let's see. Does he have a password, ALS1? Yeah, looks like it. Let's see. Let's see. ALS1 got an issue on 9 and 7. So he has an issue on here and here. And I think it's the password. Let's see. Show VTP. Oops. Show VTP password. He has a password, CCNP. I thought the password was switch. No, the domain was switch. What's the domain? Show VTP domain? No, you just got to do show VTP status. So the domain is switch. The password was definitely so we have an issue here. See that? We got to check some mismatch. We thought it was the password, and apparently it's not. We have some troubleshooting here. The password was definitely correct, right? Let's see. Show VTP password. It's CCNP. So we have an issue on that trunk and that trunk. DLS1, DLS2. Do they have the password? DLS1. Show VTP password. CCNP. What is the password over here? Show VTP password. It's CCNP. So that's correct. What is the version number? Are they running the correct version numbers? Version 2. Show VTP version. I'm sorry. Just show VTP status. What version is he running? He's version 2 as well. But we have some kind of issue with the ND5 digest. What is going on here? Let's see. I don't want to open the floodgates here, man. I want to make this guy, just make him a server, and maybe that's the issue. If we just make him a server, maybe that will fix the MD5 issue there. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think the answer is. Sam Rocky said it's 3 things: the mode, the domain, and the password. Yes, correct. And I think we checked on all of them, but let's do it all on each one, right? We said the mode on this guy is transparent, so that might be the issue there. So his mode is transparent. We know that we set the mode on the rest of these guys as server, server, and server. We checked the password on all of them, right? Let's check the password anyways, right? Show VTP. I don't know why I keep doing that. Password is CCNP. We said that guy's password is CCNP. That guy's password is CCNP. And his password is also... What is his password? ALS2. Show VTP password is also CCNP. And in the domain... What's his domain? Show VTP domain. Oops. Just show VTP status for the domain. It's switch. I'm gonna just go. I think that's just gonna be the fix. We're gonna make this guy right here. who is pretty much the root of the network right now. We're gonna make him a server, because right now he's set as a transparent switch, and maybe that'll fix our problem there.
Bruh.
Let's see. Go back to DLS1. Set him as a server. Open the floodgates. Let's pray to the network gods. VTP mode server. Setting it as the VLANs. Let's see. Did it fix it? We got a mismatch receipt right there. Do we have a mismatch now? Let's do a show VTP status. That did not fix the problem. Nope. So we still have an MD5 digest checksum mismatch on the trunk on ALS1. So we have an issue on FA107, which is here. And we have an issue here. And like Sam Rocky said, it could be three things. Either the mode, VTP mode, the domain, or the password. Let's just go on each one of them and see what the problem is. DLS1. What is his mode? DLS1. His mode, show VTP mode. I'm going to show VTP status. His mode is right now set to server. The domain is switch, all caps. And then the password, show VTP password. Password only has 2 S's, by the way.
Bruh.
It is set to CCNP, so that's correct. We still have this error that keeps popping up here. I believe the issue is this points to be the issue right here. This guy's got a problem. I don't know. He's getting receipt. This guy's getting a receipt message. That guy's getting a receipt message. So let's go to ALS1 real quick. ALS1 is that guy right there. Got a mismatch. What is his issue here? Show VTP status. We said the domain is switch. Show VTP password is CCNP. And then the domain is switch. The password is CCNP. And what was the last thing you said? The mode. He is set to server mode. Make a change to VLAN, and maybe it'll propagate some info. Recheck the domains and the password. Yes, I'm checking the domains and the password. Being that we made this guy a server, he should have some new VLANs, right? Show VLAN brief. He's probably not gonna get them, but the other guy should get them, right? Let's see. That's a good tip there. Show VLAN brief. What is his? He don't have any VLANs either. What is his? Show VLAN brief. He don't have anything. Interesting. What is our issue here? We got some troubleshooting here. Lab number 1 already. We got some troubleshooting here. I gotta set some swimming lessons for my daughter. She's taking swimming again this summer. What is the issue here? All right, so let's finish that. Let's finish checking everything, right? We checked the DLS1. We checked the domain. We checked the password. We also checked the mode. So it's DLS2. So VTP status. Domain switch. Server mode. And what else? The password. So VTP password CCNP. That's correct. Let's go to final. The last two, the access layer switches. So now we checked DLS. We checked this guy right here for the password, the domain, and the server and the mode. We did the same thing on this guy. Now we got to check these two guys right here. This guy and this guy, right? Domain, password, and the mode. Show VTP status. Domain is all caps switch. I didn't misspell anything, right? Password is CCNP. And the mode is server. Final guy, this guy right here, we're checking that guy, ALS2. Where's ALS2? ALS2 is right here. So now I'm checking him. Show What did I just do there? I pushed some stuff at work. Show VTP status. His mode is server. Domain name is switch. Oh, the version is also what we got to check too. Version 2. And server mode. But we still have this MD5 checksum mismatch error. Y'all know what? Let me, unless you guys have any other clues, I'm going to have to Google this real quick. Let's see what that issue is, man. How do we resolve this issue here? One of the most underrated skills as a network engineer is how to Google shit. Right? You have to really look at some of this stuff. So we're having this error right here. MD5 digest checksum mismatch error. What is going on here? Any idea how to fix this? This guy says, do you have a VTP password set? Yes, we did. It was CCNP. Are they matching? Yes, they're matching. Can you give a show VTP statistics? I didn't know you could do this. So that's something we could do. Are the digest errors increasing? So a common reason for this is the password is not configured consistently on all servers. So we did set the password. We checked that. And the version 2. And it could be due to a bug. Interesting. And the fastest way I'm aware of how to solve this is to force an update from the server. We could do this, for example, in config mode by creating and removing a bogus VLAN, which is exactly what Pete S just said. Create a VLAN to see if it'll propagate, and then, like he said, to delete it. And that should fix the problem. That is very interesting. So we just found a bug here. Let's see if that's the issue. PS said, this is what he said. Make a change to a VLAN. Maybe it'll propagate some info. Recheck the domains and the password, which we've already did. And then PS said, so VLAN 800, then no VLAN 800, and could refresh it. Making a new VLAN could refresh the domain according to some, just like what he just said, man. This is why I fuck with y'all, man. See, I Googled it. He looked at the same exact shit, and this is how he fixed the problem. So now, if you have this book and you're following this lab, he's not going to tell you, like, this is how you fix this problem. There's different bugs that you can run into with Cisco iOS. This apparently is a bug, and as you can see, I've checked the domain, I've checked the password, I've also checked which mode we're in, triple check on all 4 switches, and we didn't see that problem. So what I had to resort to, Googling the shit. And just like Pete said, create a fake VLAN, hopefully it'll propagate, then remove that VLAN, it'll remove it, and that should fix the problem. Let's see if that fixes the problem. Let's get on our knees, pray to the network gods, go to the DLS switch. That should fix this problem right here. So apparently that's an iOS bug. Go to global config mode. Let's create VLAN, I don't know. Let's do what Pete said. 800. And then we're going to remove it. Well, see, this should propagate on these other guys right here, right? So let's see. Show VLAN brief. It did not come across, even though we're trunking. Right? Show interfaces trunk. We do have some trunks here, and they're set to desirable. Let's remove that VLAN. No VLAN 800. Oh, I didn't create it that way. Now I created it. Let's see. Now let's run that again. Bam. Now we have VLANs 100 and 200, just like we said. So we just found a bug. That is some interesting shit, man. I have never ran into this bug before. And that's why I love labbing, y'all. Pete said, if that's not it, then multiple VTP server modes could be conflicting. If it's not that, then game over for me. PS, appreciate that, man. But that was the problem. Apparently, this is an iOS bug. And like I said, man, as a network engineer, this is one of the most underrated skills, man. Googling the shit, man. Having to look for, y'all see how I ran into this problem? I mean, I ran into this issue of this VTP domain mismatch error. Tried to, triple check on the knowledge that I know. Having to check the version, check the domain we're in, check the password, and none of that was the issue. It happened to be a bug. So if you're pulling the gray hairs out of your, pulling the hairs out of your hair, that is the problem. So now we can check the spanning tree for this switch right here. Remember we was doing the spanning tree on the on this guy right here? We was checking the spanning tree, and we didn't have any instances for VLAN 100 and 200, right? I'll show y'all again for anybody that just missed that part. right? But way back over, where was that? Right there. We checked for VLAN. We checked for expanding tree instances for VLAN 200 and VLAN 100. There was no expanding tree instances on these switches because the VLANs did not propagate, right? Because we had them in transparent mode. Then we put them in server mode, but the VLANs did not come across. Why? Because of a fucking bug. God damn it, Cisco killing me here, right? So now we run that spanning tree command again. Show span. Let's do VLAN 100. Now we are the backup root bridge for VLANs, for VLAN 100, right? Right? We have a cost, right? So he is the root bridge for VLAN 100 and 200, and I am the backup root bridge. So in case this motherfucker right here goes down, then I will become the root bridge for VLANs 100 and 200. That's what they designed with this lab right here, right? Because we have a cost to it right there. We do the same thing for VLAN 200. Oops, not 2. 200. Not 20. 200. Add an extra 0 there. Juan said that is VTP not crossing over to the other switches. Wow, that is cool. Yeah, exactly, man. We learn something new every day. That's why y'all gotta fuck with me, and that's why I fuck with y'all, man. We run into new shit all the time, man. Yeah, so VLAN 200. Now we are the backup VLAN for VLAN 200. So now we can finally move on to the final task, right? What he said. Configure switch DLS1 so that iOS becomes a root bridge. All right, so we created them to be the backup root bridges for VLANs 100, 200, and then now the task 4 was to create. It says okay, so that's what we were doing in task 4. So task 4 said, he said port FA07 on ALS1. So right here, and FA09 on ALS2. Right here, should be forwarding for VLAN 100. Right? Are they forwarding for VLAN 100? How do we check? We go to ALS1, right? Let's go to ALS1 real quick. So we go here. We need to make sure that this guy is forwarding for VLAN 100. So we need to make sure that this guy is not blocking, but forwarding for that traffic. What traffic? VLAN. He said, what he said? Forwarding for, so this guy needs to be forwarding for VLAN 100. That guy should be forwarding, and this guy should be forwarding. That guy should be forwarding for VLANs 100. 100. All right, ALS1. Oh, so we could also check to see if that VLAN propagated too now, right? So show VLAN brief. All the VLANs in there now? Yes, now they're in there. That's crazy, man. A bug caused that shit. What version am I running, man? Show VLAN brief. I mean, show version. I thought I was version like running version 15. No, I'm running version 12. No, we're version 15. 15.2, SE11. Good. Yeah, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Crazy. What do we want to check? FA07. Show spanning tree VLAN 100. Am I forwarding? 107 is forwarding on ALS1, right? Yes, it is. And it is also the root bridge. So, but he said to manually do it. It's already forwarding, so the way they designed it. So now ALS2, that guy, FA09, needs to be forwarding as well. So let's go to ALS2. Right there. Show span VLAN 100. Is that one forwarding? 109 is forwarding. Good. He's good to go. Should be forwarding for VLAN 100 on ALS2. So now the second part said FA09 should be forwarding for VLAN 200. So this should be forwarding for VLAN 200 and 07 on ALS2 should be 200. That should be forwarding for 200. That should be forwarding for 200. Y'all know I like to do my arrows and shit, man. Bear with me, man. That should be forwarding for 200, and that should be forwarding for 200. So, ALS1, where's the ALS1? ALS1's right here. VLAN we do the same thing. Show spanning tree VLAN 200 is how we check it. VLAN 200 FA09 is blocking. It's blocking on ALS1. Right? Is that what he said? Yes. And 07 should be forwarding for VLAN 200. So if we check over here, VLAN 200 on this guy, is he blocking on the other one? Oops. 200. 07 on ALS2 is blocking. So we need to make those two blocking. So right now, this guy is blocking on 200 and this guy is blocking for 200. We need them to forward. Now this I can't remember how to do. If y'all want to help me on this one. So on ALS1, let's start with that guy. Right now 109 is blocking. We need that guy to be forwarding for that port. Global config mode, interface FA109. Now, we don't want to cause a loop here, too, though, right? Spanning tree. We have to change the priority. Is that what we got to do? VLAN. What he said, 200. Port priority. I think that's what we got to do. We got to change either the port priority or the cost. That's a tricky one for me, man. I'm kind of stuck with this one. I'm stuck with this one. Huh. Port FA09. Let's see what he said. Shout out to the Black Brain Trust for sharing this, man. Appreciate you for tuning in, man. Just subscribe. Yes, Pete said it's the cost. That's what I thought. I thought it was the cost too. Now, what is the cost set to right now? That's what we got to check. Let's see. But yeah, Laverius, appreciate you for tuning in. We are just starting with the CCNP studies, man. Typically, I stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've been studying a lot of CCNA material. I was going back and reviewing a whole bunch of stuff. I was labbing from this book called 101 Labs, Cisco's CCNA Labs. You can get a copy of that from like 101labs.net, but now we're studying from the 101 Labs CCNP version of it. So, you know, more complex topics, more complex topologies. As you can see right here, we're kind of playing with spanning tree right now. We're just kind of optimizing our traffic here. Right now, we have this port that's being blocked, right? This guy right here is being blocked. That guy is being blocked, but they said they wanted us to forward it. As you can see with my squiggly ass arrows right here. They want this to be forwarding, and they want that to be forwarding right there. We have to change the cost like my man Pete said right there. Now, let's see what the cost is for VLANs. We got to do it for those two specific VLANs though. VLAN 200 on this guy and VLAN 200 on that guy, right? 200. These are correct. 100 on that one and 100 on that one. And they're both forwarding for that one. We need those two forwarding for 200. So let's see what we got going on here. So span VLAN 200 on this guy. Right now, the cost, let's see. It is a blocking port. We set the cost to be 19. Is there like an automatic way to do this? Now, we can check the book for the solution guide, but y'all know I like to try to stay away from the solution guide. And it's like, hey, you got a CCNA. You should know this shit, man. We try not to look at the answers at the back of the book like we used to do in high school, right? So we know we wanted to fix FA10, what is this? Right here, 109. We need to fix that port. So interface FA109 on the access switch. We said spanning tree VLAN 200 cost. We could set the cost to be either lower or higher. Now, what do I want to do here? It is blocking right now. If I set the cost to be higher, what do you guys say? You said this is tricky because it makes us think of or look up the default cost of the links. We got Cole's Tech in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in, man. Yeah, appreciate you for tuning in. Yes, you're right. This is tricky because it makes us think of or look up the default cost of the links. So right now, the default cost, it is an FA0, is a fast Ethernet port. The cost is 19. So this is tricky, very tricky. What do I need to set it up so that way this is forwarding? Right now, I've got it blocking. Now, if I change it, I could cause a loop, right? If I manually change this. Not that it matters because this is just a home lab. So right now, we got, again, this port blocking. We got this port blocking. But we need to figure out a way by changing the cost so that way this guy is forwarding traffic that way. And that guy's forwarding traffic for VLAN 200 here and VLAN 200 there. How we could change the cost, but what do we need to change it to? He said, you mentioned that we need to look up the default costs, right? So yes, you're right about that. Now I know for gigabit ports, it's like 1 or something like that, right? Let's look up the default costs real quick. Again, we got to Google shit sometimes, right? We looked up that problem right there. That just happened to be a bug. I doubt this is a bug. We just have to go back to the CCNA study fundamentals for this one. So, spanning tree. We could look up some default. Let's see, spanning tree, default port priorities, costs, default costs. They are. It is configured by the default bandwidth. So. Where's the defaults? There they are right there, which is what PS was mentioning. Right now, it is set to 19. Why? Because I have fast Ethernet ports. Yours might be different because your interfaces might be different, right? If you're using, I don't know, EVNG or whatever, maybe you have to get some gigabit ports. I've got fast Ethernet ports, just like in the lab here. So right now it says the default cost value is this. The default range is anywhere between this. So what do we need to change it to? So that way this becomes forwarding. I think, I don't know. I'm going to need some help from you guys right here. You say you can make the current root port cost higher. So then it'll choose a new root port. Okay. So let's do that then. Let's try that. Let's set the root. Right now it is the cost is 19. What if we set it to a higher cost? Let's say the cost is, I don't know, 20. Let's just do that for now and see what happens. It'll probably rechange. And let's do a show span VLAN 200. What happens? He's still blocking. It's set to 20. What if we change it again to, I don't know, something higher than that. Let's say 100 for now. No. Yeah, let's say 100 for now. Let's say 100. Cost is 100. Show span is still blocking. Probably because we gotta wait. Let's see. Will it reconfigure after a while? No, it's not listening or anything. It's still blocking. For VLAN 200. Still blocking. Remember, it's 07. You said 07 on ALS1? Let me see. On ALS1, let's go back. ALS1. Well, this one is forwarding. It is 09 on mine that is blocking. So this guy is blocking and this guy is blocking on ALS2. So ALS1's 109 and ALS2's 107. Right now I'm on ALS1. I need this one to forward. I need him to forward. So you are on 09 blocking. So I need to change the cost. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. So, okay, I see what you're saying. So let's see this. Let's do this. I'm on 109. So I need to, let me set that back to, I'm going to set that back to what it was. It was 19. It was set to 19. So I need to set the other one to be higher then, right? So that way he'll have a new port. So if I do 107, spanning tree, VLAN, 200 cost, let's do 20 for that one. Would that change it? Do show spanning tree VLAN, 200. He's still forwarding. And 109 is blocking. I wanted to reconfigure that, man. I don't know if I wanted to change that though, did I? I'm gonna change it back to 19. It was set to 19, right? He was set to 19 earlier? Let me make sure. 107 was set to 19. Yeah, he was set to 19 and he was forwarding. And he is the root port. Geez, this makes you really got to think about spanning tree, man. Spanning tree can be really deep subject. So right now, my root port, this is my port. This is my root port. Let's figure this out here. This is my root port to VLAN 200. That's my root port for VLAN 200. That is blocking. So if I want this to forward, to 200, so I need to make my root higher, right? The other way around. You said, Juan, I know this. It's the switch priority. Switch priority? Are you sure it's the switch priority? You talking about this right here? Show switch? That's stack-wise, bro. If you're talking about this priority right here, no, that's something different, man. We're talking about spanning tree priority. Don't get those two confused now. That is definitely not what we want to. We're not messing with this right here. We're not working with stacks. We're dealing with the spanning tree priority that we need to change, the port priority. So let's go back to ALS1. So span tree 200. Okay, so right now for 200, he is forwarded and he is blocking. So right now, okay, this is what we want to do. I think we need to make this a lower cost. So let's make that cost, I don't know, let's make that cost 4. And then that'll be forwarding, and that should probably be blocking, right? For 200. Let's do that. Let's do that. Global config mode, interface F8 109. And I think that is what we need to do here. So spanning tree, VLAN 200, cost, right? I'm on 109. I need to make this a lower cost to make this my root port and be forwarding. So cost, let's make that 4, right? And now if I do a show span VLAN 200, it's still blocking. Interesting. I need to recreate this. Is it recalculating? No, it's not. Even though I made the cost 4. What he said, you have to increase the cost of a FA07 to be more than 39. Okay. Okay. Let's try that. No, that's for stack. Yeah, Cole said it. That's correct, Cole. He said he's talking about the stack priority, man. So I need to increase the cost. I was making it lower, but here's the thing. Here's what they asked for. They said, I'm gonna put this so y'all can see it for task 4. This is what I need to fix for task 4, so that way I can fix this. I've been stuck on this for a while, right? This is what they asked for. Port FA09 on ALS1. Let me fix that for y'all, so y'all can see. FA09 on ALS1. So right there, port FA09 on ALS1 and FA07 on ALS2 should be forwarding for VLAN 200. Right now, 09 is blocking, And on the other one, show span 200, VLAN 200. 109 is, I'm sorry, not 109. What was the other one? The other one is FA07 on ALS2 should be forwarding. So that's being blocked. Like we said, 07 is being blocked right here. Where I got these red X's at. That's being blocked and that's being blocked. He said they want them to be forwarding, just like this right here. How do we do that? You said you got to do it. You got to make it higher. How you gonna make that cost higher? Well, you said higher than 36, but I set it to 100 and it didn't do it. You got to do the other one to be higher. So the one that's forwarding needs to be higher then. So that way, this becomes the root and forwarding. So ALS2, let's see, ALS2, 107. Okay, so let's do this. Let's make this one a higher cost to be, and you said it has to be twice that number, so 36, right? And that should make him that should make him start forwarding. So that should make this guy start forwarding, right? So I need to make this higher than 36. So let's do that. Let's go to interface. That's VLAN 200. Yeah. So FA interface FA 109. Spanning tree. VLAN, let's see, 200. No, I'm sorry. That's not what I meant. Yes, spanning tree. VLAN, 200. Let's do, you said twice the root bridge. Root bridge's cost. So root bridge's cost is 19. Let's do 36, right? So cost 36. Is that how you do it? Yeah. And that should change it. Show span VLAN 200. So now 109 is forwarding. And is that what I wanted? Yes. No, 107 is being blocked still. 107 is being blocked. That's not what I wanted. Right? Is that what I did? Is that what I did? He was forwarding? Yeah, he was forwarding. We want to make the other one higher. So let's do that one more time. 109 needs to be higher than the other one to be forwarding. Right? Let me make sure. Let me see. Let me see what y'all said. Let me get some help from the Fat Finger Squad over there. He said, change the cost on both ALS switches. You have to configure it from the DLS switches. Then the VLAN will take another direction. Lower cost wins in STP. By default, each link cost is 19. And you take 2 hops to reach the root. So, oh, I see what y'all saying. So, I need to change the cost on the DLS switches. I see what y'all saying. Okay. Let's do that. I'm getting cold here. Hold on. Damn, sound like a fucking data center in here with these loud ass switches. I might have to use EVNG, man. This thing so getting on my nerves, man. Alright, really need to fix this issue here. Let's see here. What do y'all say? Let's see what y'all said. Configure it from the DLS switches. That's what Kevin said. Kevin said we need to figure. So we need to. What we're doing here is what I was doing here was configuring the spanning tree on these ports right here. He's saying I need to fix that problem up here, and that should change the costs and fix what's going to be forwarding there. So let's go back to ALS. It's ALS1, right? So that means if I want this guy to be forwarding, I need to change the priority here on VLAN 200. So that means he's saying I need to go to DLS2. Let's do that. I should set this to be back to the default, just to say I didn't fuck with that, right? Interface FA 109 spanning tree. Oops. Spanning tree. VLAN 200 cost. And we'll leave that at 19 where it was at, right? He's still not gonna change, right? So let's see. Show span VLAN 200 And right now, 109 is still blocking on ALS2, right? Yep, ALS2's... No. Yeah, he's still forwarding, rather. And 107 is blocking. We wanted to fix that problem. So we got to go to DLS2 to fix these issues then. That's what it looks like, right? Because for this to be forwarding, for that to be forwarding, or actually this to be forwarding, and that to be forwarding, we need to fix the problems up here, is what he's saying. So let's go to DLS2 and do that, right? DLS2 over here. So we need to go to ports 109 and 107 to fix these issues. So global config mode, interface range, which I just learned about. I mean, I knew about the range command, but I didn't know. I thought they had to be in contiguous, and they had to be in blocks, right? So FAST 107, comma FAST 109, right? And we said spanning tree VLAN 200 cost. Well, before we can do that, let's see what they are. Do show span VLAN 200. What is going on these ports right here? 107 and 109 is what I need to check. Right now, they're designated as forwarding, but we want them to be blocking. Is that what we're going to do here? No. We're just going to change the costs. They need to be higher then, right? So let's set those to be higher than the other side. Let's do that. Spanning tree. Let's just experiment because I can't remember. Spanning tree VLAN 200 cost, and we'll double that, right? 36. And let's do a show span again. They are still forwarding. 36. If we go to ALS1 and ALS2, what is going on there? Spanning tree. What's going on here? He's still blocking. That is not what we wanted, right? 109 on ALS1 is still blocked. Do we have to wait? What he said? Draw the traffic on pink to see the hops. ALS switch, I believe. Double check. Let's see. You're right. We should do that. We should do that. The root bridge for VLAN 200 is forwarding. 107 is forwarding on ALS1. Yes, it is right there. It's forwarding right there. ALS1. VLAN to VLAN 200. That is the root port to get the VLAN 200, right? And then 109 is being blocked. This is a really tricky one, man. Spanning tree got my head spinning. Spinning tree. He said to set the VLAN for primary. Oh, we already did that part. We already did that. That was task number 3. So this has to be the root bridge for 100 and 200. This guy right here. This is root bridge for 100 and 200. And this is the backup root bridge for 100 and 200. So backup for 100 and 200. Let's see. Let me just see what the solution was, because we are approaching what, probably 2 hours on this stream here, right? Let's see here. Task number 4. How did they do it? Let's see what he did. He did set the cost on the ALS switches. 107 and 109. Which is exactly what I did. But he set the cost to be 40. So that's what he did. What we had to do was show spanning tree root. That's what he did. And that's exactly what we did. But we didn't set the priority, the cost to be high enough, apparently. So, y'all check this out. And my boss always gets me to tell me to do this to see if the VLANs are being propagated too. I mean, other than show VLAN brief, but we do show span route on the ALS switch. So we go to ALS 2. Show span route. Right now, we see the cost for 200 is lower. In VLAN 1, we didn't even, touch it, so that's why it's set to the default. But he was saying set the root cost to be a little higher for those guys. All right, so let's see. Verify your config with show span tree root. Oh, no. That was from task 3. So we already did that part. What we needed to do was set the costs. All right, so which is what we were thinking about doing, but we didn't do it on the DLS switches, is what Kevin was saying. So let's fix that. What do we do here? What do we do on these guys right here? Let's get rid of, on the DLS switch, what do we do here? Let's get rid of that. We needed to do this right here, but on the ALS switches, which is what we were doing. So let's get rid of that. Know this. And do the same thing. So we were right on track, but we just needed to do it on ALS switches, which is what we were doing here. So I'm gonna go back to the ALS switches, the access layer switches, right? We go to, what was I on track to doing there? Okay. On the ALS switches right here, here's what we're doing. Go to config mode. We said we needed to do this right here. We need to go to interfaces to do it. So in this case, FA109 and FA107. On ALS1 is 109. Interface FA, because right now it's blocking, right? And we wanted it forward. 109. We need to set the cost to be higher. Right now its cost is 4. He set it to 40. Right? Now we do a show span VLAN. What is that? 200. Still blocking. Interesting. What did he do? Spanning tree VLAN 200, and then he changed the cost. Exactly. Maybe we gotta wait for it to change. Who knows? We'll see. I'm gonna do it on the other one because I'm ready to move on here. Let's go to that port right there, 107, and change that priority to 40 as well, which is what we were in the middle of doing also at one point. 10, what port is that? 107 on this one. Global config mode, interface FA107. Change his cost to 40. We'll do a show span VLAN 200. Okay, so now it's charting to change. See, now it's listening. Maybe we had to do it on both of them. Let's see. Is it changing yet here? It's still blocking there, but we're fixing it over here, apparently. See, now it's in listening. Now it's in learning. We keep running that. Forwarding. It is still forwarding. So 109, let's see. 109 is now... It recalculated, but this 107 is still... No, that's exactly what we wanted. 107 to be forwarding. So now this is forwarding. And this is blocking. That's blocking. Right? So now, did we do the same thing on ALS1? Let's see. ALS1. Did we change that? Did we change that? 109 is blocking. It's still blocking. We needed that to be changed. We needed that to be changed. Didn't we fix that problem? Thought we did. 109. Yeah, 109. We needed this to be forwarding. Because right now, 109 is blocking. Let's do that. Let's see. What he said. I said to put 1919 equals 38. So 39 would work. Give time. STP takes 30 seconds. Yes, you're right. And that's what we ended up doing. I'm a newbie to this. I am sure I want to head towards CCNA and CCNP certs. Yeah, man, it's all good, man. Just, you know, I have a lot of videos on the CCNP, CCNA topics. I did a lot of tutorials. We also did a lot of live streams like this for CCNA level topics. So, you know, just go back and watch those videos, man. So, appreciate you for tuning in, though. So, let's see. I know you said it takes a while, but 109, is it blocking still? Yeah, that's still blocking. We wanted that to forward. What do we need to change so that way this one is forwarding? This guy needs to be forwarding, and that needs to be blocked. So 107, let's see, do we need to change his cost to be lower or higher? Because we make him higher, he'll be, let's see, you said to draw it out. That's what we should do. Let's see. So right now, you're saying this being blocked. Why? Because that probably has a set higher priority. So maybe we need to change the priority on that, the port priority on this, so that way it's forwarding. DLS2, FA109. So let's see. Let's go to DLS2, FA09. Let's see what DLS2 looks like. Show span VLAN 200. Show span VLAN 200 on here. 109 is forwarding. Maybe I should make that cost to be higher. So that cost needs to be higher than this one. Let's do that. I'm gonna set this cost to be higher than that one, and I think that's what one of y'all said. I don't know if I. My bad on that if that's what you were saying. So I'm gonna go to DLS2 109, configure terminal interface FA109, spanning tree, VLAN 200, cost 38. And let's see if that changes it. Do show span VLAN 200. Span VLAN 200. That didn't change anything. Still forwarding. Is he being blocked still? 109, 109, 109. What we need to check? ALS1. ALS1. Where you at? ALS1. 107 is still. 109. Yeah, that one's still being blocked. I got it set to 40. Okay, so maybe I need to set it higher than 40. Let's do that. My bad about that. My bad about that. I need to set it to be higher than 40. So we're looking at this port right here. We need to look at this right here. One of them needs to be higher. So right now, 109 is set to 40. Right there. And this guy is set to, I just set it to 38, right? Highest priority wins, right? So let's go back to DLS. Where is he at? Right now he's set to 38. Okay, so let me make him lower than 38. So that way he's forwarding, right? Oh, we can't do that because he is the priority. He is a priority for VLAN 200. Change the costs on this side right here. FA109. Let's make it lower. Right? My bad. I'll do a switch. ALS1. Starting to get confused over here. FA interface FA 10. What is that? 109. Spanning tree. VLAN 200. Cost. Change the cost to be lower than the other side. Right now I'm set to 40. That is 38. Let's set it lower than 38 so that way we're forwarding. Is that what I gotta do? Yes. Let's set it back to 19. Is that gonna fix it or change it? Do show span VLAN 200. Is that gonna fix the problem? No, he's still blocking. Do I got to do it on the other side? Right now, what is he set to? DLS2. DLS2's FA09. His cost is 38. So right now, he is 38, and he is 19. We need to get this guy to unblock. He said, don't change the root bridge. Yes, I'm not going to do that. The root bridge will forward all. Pete S said, FA109's ALS is the one you want to change according to this lab. Yes, you're right. So, I need to change that right there. To be lower or higher. It needs to be lower. For it to be forwarding. I'm going to change this shit to like something lower than that, man. Interface 109, right? Interface 109? Because I fixed this part already, right? Right? So, I'm on FA 109. Let me make sure, right? Interface FA 109. Not 199. Alright, so spanning tree, VLAN 200. Cost needs to be, I'm going to set it to something lower. Really low. Do show span, show, come on man, show span VLAN 200. Wrong switch. Did I just change? I did change it on the wrong one. I meant to do it on ALS one. Let's fix that. 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 Because now he is. See, now I'm changing who the root bridge is going to be if I do this, right? And I didn't want that. I didn't want that. Now I'm changing the root bridge if I do this. Let's fix that problem. I didn't want that to happen. So, do a show run interface. FA, who did I change? 109 there, right? No, 10, what did I change? What did I just change? Yes, 109. I fixed 109. I need to get rid of that. Interface. Oops. My bad. Get rid of this right here. Because now I'm changing the root bridge if I do this. I don't want to do that. FA 109. No. This. And we need to go to make sure he's still the root for a backup root for VLAN 200. Show span VLAN 200. Holy moly. Okay, now he's back to forwarding to those VLANs. Go back to ALS1. I need to fix that port right there to be forwarding, which is interface FA109. Spanning tree. VLAN 200 costs. Let's say cost 4 for now. Do show span VLAN 200. He's still blocking. How do I get that? He's an alternate port. That is crazy. He said you need to go to ALS1, go to interface FA 109, 107, put a high priority of 40. Okay, let's see here. Let me see what you said here. You need to go to ALS1 and go to interface 107, put a high priority of 40, and change 109 back to 19, and it should work. Okay, let's see. So I'm on ALS1 right now. 107. Put it at a priority of 40. Because it's the root bridge right now. Okay. So right now, 107 is the root bridge. Yes, which is what I said earlier right here. Root bridge. Interface FA 107. Set that to be, what you said? Put a priority of 40. Okay, so fine. Oh, priority of 40, not a cost. A priority of 40. So, let's see here. So you said a priority of 40 or a cost of 40? Because remember, The way he did it in the book was he changed the priority. And backbone fast, I remember, man, I forgot about all that stuff, man. I need to really go back to the fundamentals on that stuff. He set the priority. He changed the cost is what he did. He means cost. Okay, yes, you said the cost, not the priority. All right, so 107, spanning tree, VLAN, 200, cost of 40, right? And then you said 109, I can change that back to 19 on 109, and that should start forwarding. Did I change that though? Do show span. Let's see what happened already so far. 200. Now it's starting to change. Now it's learning. And now 107 is blocking. So now 107 is blocking. So that guy right there is blocking. That's to stop the loop, right? We show span again. Forwarding. So now 109 is finally fucking forwarding. But notice I changed that to 40, and then I put that as 4. So now this guy is forwarding. Sorry for the scribbly there. So he said cost of 40. But either way, my cost over here is 4, and now 109 is forwarding for VLAN 200, which is what he asked for, right? Let's go back and let's see what he said. FA 109 on the ALS1. So 109 on the ALS1 is forwarding. And what else he said? 107 on the ALS2. So let's go to ALS2. ALS2 is right here. Show span VLAN 200. Is he forwarding finally? 107 should be forwarding. Good to go. Woo! That was a lot. That was a lot. Okay, either way I did it. I just didn't do it exactly how he did it. I put some Band-Aid and stuff on there and some bubble gum. So, what was the final task? Task 5. We're finally going to wrap this shit up. Holy moly. Configure your 802.1d network to improve convergence as follows. Man, this is a tough one. Okay, so backup ports on the access layer switch should transition to forwarding in 1 to 5 seconds following the failure of a primary link to the root bridge. That feature, if I remember correctly, was uplink fast? I don't remember. Backup ports on access layer switches. Let's define what the backup ports are. Spanning tree could be a very deep subject, y'all, but we gotta learn this stuff if we want to learn it at a deeper level. Oh, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Where's the copy that bad boy? Oh, I can't go back that far. That's why. Go to my marker. Okay. So, who was my ports? Right now. Let's see. Backup ports on the access layer switches should transition to forwarding in 1 to 5 seconds following the failure of a primary link to the root bridge. Okay, and then the second part of task 5 is, in the event of an indirect link failure, the network should converge within 30 seconds instead of the typical 50 seconds. That I can't remember. I know it has like either backlink fast, or I can't remember what those features were, man. I can't front. Let's see here. Who are the backup ports on access layer switches? Let's see. VLANs 100 and 200. Let's see. Let's do a show span. Show span. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. So we got a root port to 200. We should write all of these out. Don't worry about VLAN 1. Right? So VLAN 100. We have an alternate blocking port. 107. So this is ALS. What switch we on right now? This is ALS 2. This is ALS 2. So 100. Root port for 100 is 109. So this is a root port. And it's forwarding. That guy's forwarding. Right? What else we got? That guy's blocking. 107 for VLAN 100. That guy's blocking. Now this is for VLAN 100 now. So VLAN 100. Now let's see. He didn't say anything about. Let's see. So this is the thing. It said question mark it. Yeah, you'll be going through your old videos. Yeah, I'll be. Hey, it's all good, man. It is all good, man. We all learn from somewhere. We all start from somewhere, man. So, let's see. That guy is forward. What is our primary links, though? That's the question. He said a question mark it. That's true. I could do that too. Backup ports on access layer switches should transition to forwarding in 1 to 5 seconds. In the following affair, we need to find out who the backup ports are. The backup ports are pretty much the backup ports are the alternate ports, right? See, I need to remember what the spanning tree stuff, man. These spanning tree features, man. Let's see. I'm going straight to the solution here. Let's see what he said here. He said, I'm sorry for disappointing y'all if that's the case, but he says the task requires the implementation of backbone fast and uplink fast, and I forgot about those features there, man. Backbone fast and uplink fast. Backbone fast is configured on all switches. That's how you do it. Spanning tree, backbone fast. I need to remember this. So spanning tree, backbone fast. Let's see. What he said. Backup ports are alternate. Yes, correct, Jason. So yes, you're right. All the alternate ports are the backup ports. Now, what he said here was, for this to work, we got to set backbone fast for that feature to work. So the question was, I'm definitely gonna have to review this and probably have to do another lab similar to this to remember these features. Let's see. Backup ports on the alt access layer switch should transition to forwarding in a case following the failure of a primary link. So what we said it was backbone fast. Yes. I can't even find the damn solution to this guy. All right, so here we go. So we had to set up spanning tree backbone fast for this to work. Totally forgot about that feature, man. Now he said not mentioned in the CCNA. It used to be, if I remember correctly. I remember having to learn about backbone fast and uplink fast and all of these other features, but maybe now they probably took it out of the CCNA. I'm not too sure. Lavari said, do you have a lab set up? If so, do you have an old video showing it from what you're working on now? Good question, Lavarius. I have not done a video on my lab setup. I'm using actual hardware. I've been meaning to do a video on my lab Basically, I have 4 3750 switches. They're 24 port switches. I have, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, I'm that crazy. 10 routers. 5 of which are the 1841 models. You can get them really cheap on eBay, like maybe $30, $40. But I really don't recommend you to do it if you're just starting out with this stuff. Just get you this application called Packet Tracer. It is free. You just have to join the Cisco Learning Network. You don't even have to do that. Just Google the shit. Just type in Cisco Packet Tracer, and you can drag and drop routers and switches and access points and all kind of stuff, and learn this stuff from scratch, right? I just like to deal with hardware because I like to see the blinking lights and plugging out the cables and stuff like that. So, but I do have a lab. I just haven't done a video on it just yet. I've been meaning to do that for the longest. But Pete does say it is just one command that makes convergence quicker, kind of like port fast. So yes, and that feature that we were looking for is backbone fast. So, and I completely forgot about this feature right here. We just do spanning tree backbone fast, just like this right here. So if we question mark, like he said, we have all these features we can do. Enable backbone fast feature. Doesn't specifically say what it is, but if we look up the features here, let's just look it up real quick, right? Spanning tree. We could also look in the book, but you said it wasn't in the book, right? Let me see. I thought I had it in there. Let's check the book. Let's check the book. Let's see if the book. Not that I don't believe you. I just want to see if the official cert guide has it in the CCNP book. Let's see. CCNA books, official cert guide. Not one on labs. The official cert guide right here. I've got the official cert guide, right? We just do backbone. Do we even have the word backbone in there? Yes, backbone fast. It is mentioned in the book right here. No, it's showing up in the some show commands. Shows that it's enabled there. Now, what if we put it like this? He said backbone fast like that. Shows up, but we do backbone like this. Let's just see backbone area. I'm just checking to see if there's any mention of backbone fast. And you know what? You might be right, Pete. They used to have it in the CCNA level, and looks like this now. Yeah, it's not even in the it's more of a CCNP topic. So you're right about that, man. That's crazy. I thought that. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna have to review that feature. But yeah, backbone fast. If we see, we remember. Yes, I am Googling on a fucking live stream, but like I said, as y'all can see, I had to Google something and to find out there was a bug in iOS, right? So let's just look up backbone fast real quick, right? Now there is a difference between backbone fast and uplink fast, which I believe that's the other feature we have to do. Backbone fast versus uplink fast. Backbone fast works on finding an alternate path when an indirect link to the root goes down. Doesn't sound like a intuitive or a really explicit and like a name that really describes what it does, right? Backbone fast. I guess the backbone to the root switch. I don't know. Find me another backbone fast. That's one way to remember it. Yes. Find me another backbone to the root fast. That is how we remember what backbone feature does. It finds an alternate path when an indirect link to the root port goes down. Shout out to free CCNA Cisco guide, CCNA guide. That's what I love about we could really look for this stuff online. But there we go. This command could be used in the global feature. So let's see here. Yeah, we need to remember that. But either way, we need to do that on all of these switches right here. Backbone fast on ALS1, ALS2, and it is a global feature, so we don't have to do it on each port or anything like that. Backbone spanning tree, backbone fast. Got to do it on all 4 switches right here. Right? Configure a terminal, backbone, spanning tree, backbone fast, and that last guy. Global config mode, spanning tree, backbone fast. There we go. What he said. To be fair, you are doing a lab cold without reading chat. Yes, man. Not even a chapter. Like I said, I just powered this thing on. But yeah, man. I just powered this thing on. I said I was just going to share my CCNP study guide with you guys. And if in case you guys are just tuned in, we're going to be studying material from the Encore exam. This is a spreadsheet that I'm sharing with you guys. If you go to my Discord server, make sure y'all subscribe and join my Discord server, and you can get a copy of this lab right here. So let me share this with you guys right here. And you can get a copy of this study guide right here, right? And from there, you can get, again, a copy of this study guide. So we have where we can get this stuff right here. So exactly this topic right here, one-on-one labs. I don't think there is exactly anything about, well, we got stuff in here, spanning tree. This is pretty much a spanning tree protocol. Well, spanning tree feature we're using here. Nothing else in here that's specifically about this topic. Nothing else in here. But we're doing some spanning tree stuff in here and VTP stuff. So I definitely got to do another lab on this right here. What else we got? We got like one more feature here. Appreciate it, Lavarius. Appreciate you for tuning in. But yeah, make sure you join the Discord server, and that is where my spreadsheet for this exam is. The last task was what he said. What was the last task? In the event of an indirect link failure, the network should converge within 30 seconds instead of the typical 50 seconds. Does that mean we need to change? No, it does not mean that. That was the other one, which was uplink fast. So if we see the differences between the two, let's Google that real quick. I definitely got to go back to those differences there. Let's see here. Let's see. Here's a forum that's discussing the difference between the two: backbone fast and uplink fast. This guy's confused as well. When does one use backbone fast as opposed to uplink fast? Seems to be they both do the same thing. Let's see. Look for the one that has the highest helpful one, which was this guy, and this guy is 5. He got a 0. We got a 5. Let's see what this guy said right here. He's a beginner though. Uplink fast. This is to enable the blocked port when the root port link has failed. Backbone fast, which is what we just turned on, this can be enabled when a switch does not have a blocked port and root port receives inferior BPDUs. Just enable the uplink fast. That's probably the best feature. But what did he do in the book? Let's see. In the book, what did he do? What did he do? What did he do? And again, I'm going to share the spreadsheet. Is the spreadsheet, if you guys go to my Discord server, he said, damn, forum post date is 2002. Hey, man, like I said, these are protocols that's been out for decades, bro. Spanning tree, when was spanning tree invented? Let's fun fact that. Let's fun fact that. Spanning tree protocol was invented in, that's invented by this lady named Rhea Perlman, if I remember correctly. Radia Perlman, my bad. Invented in Don't say, but if I'm not mistaken, it was like in the 80s sometime. The spanning tree's been out for a long time, so either way, where were we at? We wanted to last part here. In the event of an indirect link failure, the network should converge within 30 seconds instead of the typical 50 seconds. And what he said was that feature was uplink fast, and you just have to do it on the ALS switches, because so we need to set up uplink fast on this guy and this guy, and I believe that is a global feature. Yes, it is. So ALS1, let's do that on ALS1 and ALS2, and then we'll call it a night, man. So it is global config mode, spanning tree, uplink fast is how you do that feature. But if we question mark, we'll see what the features for spanning trees are, right? We have backbone fast, uplink fast. See, those two were the ones I used to get confused with back in the day. So I definitely got to go back and review those. And hope you guys are reviewing them as well. If you're not confused as me, then props to you. But I need to go back and review those two, the difference between those two, backbone fast and uplink fast. So we said we need to set that up on the ALS switches, uplink fast, and on the other ALS switch, spanning tree, uplink fast. So now he says, that's exactly what he said. However, uplink fast is configured only on the access switches in the network as follows. So we did it globally, and then backbone fast, verify backbone fast by shutting down the FA0 link between DLS1 and DLS2. So, and this is the final one. We're just verifying that feature, right? So on DLS1 and DLS2, we need to shut down this port right here, and then we should see backbone fast like in action. This will then generate RLQs, which allow for the faster convergence of the STP domain. You can verify backbone fast operation using the iOS show spanning tree backbone fast command as follows. So we could just do that, right? On the let's do it on the DLS1 switch, and then we're gonna shut down that port right there, and then call it a night, right? So right here, show spanning tree backbone fast, like that, and we see it is enabled right there, and then we should see some of these RLQ requests and responses. And I forgot what RLQ stood for. Let's see. Let's just shut down that interface, right? Global config mode interface FA1011. Shut down that bad boy. Boom. And then let's see what happened on these guys. Here we go. Spanning tree. Now we got these ports forwarding now. See that? Removed, forwarding, uplinks, uplink fast. So we had an indirect link failure there. And then what happened on ALS1? He changed 107 to be forwarding. So 107 was blocking, and now it is forwarding. So now this is forwarding. Bloop, it is forwarding. And it was blocking because of this indirect link failure. What is that feature? Uplink fast. And then let's see what happened on the ALS switch right here. Let's do a show span backbone fast again. Show span backbone fast. It's enabled. We have some RLQs. Now I forgot what the hell that meant. Let's look up that. Let's look up what that means. I'm ready to go to bed, y'all. Spanning tree RLQ. What does that stand for again? That is. What does RLQ stand for again, y'all? Configuring backbone fast. Be the root link query. Root link query. So a way for us to find out who the root link is and stuff like that. So it's almost like BPDUs, right? Now spanning tree can be a really deep subject, y'all. Pete said invented before switches for hubs. Yeah, I wonder what those guys are doing now. Don't worry, I was confused many episodes ago. It's all good. What was the other question? I sincerely apologize to our network administrator in our office. Never knew he had to do all of this. Yeah, man, it can be really confusing, man. I wonder if they don't teach this do RPST? Rapid Spanning Tree? Yeah, because a lot of this stuff with Spanning Tree, it's kind of like set it and forget it. You got all these features. It'll figure out who the root port is, who is which ones need to be blocked, which ones can be alternate. It's done automatically. With Spanning Tree, it's kind of like a set it and forget it protocol. Now the thing is, with all of these features, with backbone fast and uplink fast and setting changing the cost and stuff like that, you can manipulate your traffic and figure out, and make it so that way you optimize all of your traffic. So let's say we want all of this to be, all of the VLANs, 100 and 200 traffic to go there. You can, modify and optimize your Spanning Tree topology to work in a certain way. It's just that it can be so deep of a subject. As y'all can see, I've been streaming for damn near 3 hours trying to figure out which one is being blocked, which one is supposed to be the root port, and et cetera, right? It's just that, like I said, Spanning Tree, it's almost like set it and forget it. So, Laverius, I know this seems really confusing and shit like that, right? But it's just that, like I said, you can optimize your traffic or your Spanning Tree, the protocol, to work however you want. It's just 9 times out of 10, it works automatically, where it'll block anything that could cause a loop. And, like I said, it's just done automatically. So, don't get too intimidated here. Like I said, it's just that we can manipulate our traffic and optimize our Spanning Tree network to work in a certain way. So, with all of these features, uplink fast, backbone fast, I definitely got to do a review. It's been a couple weeks since I've been streaming. This is the first time I've been streaming. Typically, I stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in. But I think that is all I got for y'all tonight, man. This is all I'm going to do. I'm going to do, he said, and we have only 5 techs supporting 300 users in our hospitals, including clinics. That's crazy, man. Lavarius, yeah, I used to work in a hospital system as well. I worked as a network analyst. And, basically we were doing switch refreshes. That was the majority of my work. But we also did some break fix stuff. Anything that was broken, we had to fix it, obviously. But a majority of my job, we were, replacing the older switches with newer switches, and we were out in the field doing that. Now I work as a network engineer for a local in education, basically, and I really don't have to do much Spanning Tree optimization. Like I said, it's a set it and forget it protocol. A lot of it works on its own. It figures out where a loop can happen, and it'll block that port. And it'll say, okay, you created a VLAN for this network or for this switch, then we're going to set this as a root port. It does it automatically, so you don't really got to think too deep in it. But with all of these features, you can, like I said, optimize your network so that way you can have all of your VLANs going forwarding to one way, and you could just, like I said, just kind of like control your traffic. And that's what all of these features are doing right here. So, but yeah, that's crazy. You have only 5 techs. We only have like three network engineers. And one of them, he's pretty much my boss. And the other guy is kind of like the coworker I work with. And they've been there for years. So I'm kind of the newbie here. And I'm trying to, and I do a lot of this lab and stuff at home. I don't do much Spanning Tree. Like I said, we don't have to do much manipulating with it. The only Spanning Tree stuff I really had to do was setting access ports to port fast, checking to see if VLANs are being propagated and see which ones are as set up as root switches and stuff like that. That's pretty much it. I don't really have to do much uplink fast and backbone fast and none of that stuff. A lot of these features are stuff you might not even do in your career, believe it or not. There's a lot of CCIE level engineers that learn about all of these fucking technologies and never have to use the shit in their career, ever. It's just that there's just so many features, and to learn, like I said, spanning tree can be a really deep subject. So I'm definitely gonna have to do another lab similar to this and play with backbone fast and uplink fast. I think I pretty much understood VTP and changing the domain. We also learned about that bug with the VTP MD5 mismatch and stuff like that. That was one feature that one thing that I definitely learned about today. But I think I pretty much have VTP down pat. What was that error? Where was that at? This right over. It was on the DLS switch, right? I don't see it anymore. It was in here. It's gone now. But y'all remember that little bug that we was running into, or that MD5 mismatch error? Apparently that was a bug. So yeah, I found some weaknesses in my studies here. So I think that's pretty much it for tonight. He said more about load balancing is what we need to do. Yes, exactly. It's more about load balancing, and it's a way to manipulate your traffic with spanning tree. And again, spanning tree is one of those spanning tree protocol is one of those protocols that you set it and forget it. You don't have to do too much configuration. One of the guys on CBT Nuggets said the same thing too. He's just like, you just kind of like, it's kind of like putting your food in the microwave. You don't know how it works. You just know it heats up your food, right? But now we're gonna try to learn about the microwave and how it heats up the food. That's what we're doing here. So, but anyways, we stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna go back and definitely learn more about uplink fast and backbone fast and how those features work, and learn those at a deeper subject or at a deeper level before I move on to lab number 2. So for now, comment. Oh, let me leave you guys that link again one more time. Join my Discord server. This is the stuff we're going to be studying. Where am I at? Right over here. Boop. Boop. This stuff right here. Make sure, I'm going to share that, guys. Share that with you guys right here. Copy this link. Go on my Discord server. There's a link in this chat. You will see my study plan for the Encore exam. Make sure you join it, so that way you can get a copy of this spreadsheet here, man. For now, comment, like, subscribe to the network.